Hello and welcome to another episode of Get Off My Lawn. I'm Jedi Johnson 22, joined as always, not what you're expecting, by Joe's Doolin. He's the man behind the curtain, pulling all the levers. What's up, Joe?
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. So we're still waiting on the guys to quit talking over on the Hot 10. They're just rambling on. So we'll just ramble on over here and wait for folks to make their way over. But joining us also is the always steady Sticks Boy 73.
Hello, everybody. How we doing?
How was your week, Sticks? Did you get some snow up there?
We had a snow day on Tuesday. It was well received. So, yeah.
You're pretty good at receiving stuff.
Nice, starting already. And as you know, as you've already heard and seen, we are also we keep saying that I noticed on the tax show, they don't even include him in anymore when they say coming up on Friday. They list all of us. They're really slighting my man, the Brucifer, who's bad to the bone, Brucifer. So he's steady on here now. He's a permanent cast member, so give the man some respect, Tack.
Oh, me? This guy?
Yeah. And Domtober he's lurking somewhere. We don't know exactly where he's at. He'll be popping in sooner or later.
He'll be coming up. He's doing some crunches and getting ready.
He's somewhere screaming at a picture of Kathleen Kennedy.
That's how he gets his mojo together for the show.
While we're waiting for Dom and while we're waiting for folks to make their way over, can I tell you guys, well, I want to ask you guys a question, a little bit of a story, but more of a question. So in your household, who puts up the Christmas tree? Is it both partners, or is it just you?
You're looking at it.
Joe's raising his hand. The other two just like don't understand the question. Who does it?
I don't touch that thing.
Okay.
My kids put it up.
My oldest doesn't want anything to do with it. So my youngest and I, past handful of years, we pick out the tree, we bring it back, and then him and I normally do it together. So,
well, in my house, it used to be just me. I was the only one that would do it because everyone else would keep putting it off. My wife still works, but recently in recent years, my wife and I have kind of done this as a team, right? So I will put up the tree, I will hang the lights, and then my wife will come in and do all the decorations, the ornaments and all that kind of stuff. So this year, huh?
Do you know the light trick? There is
I
a
know
trick
the
to putting
light.
up lights, and it's a hack to putting up lights on a tree.
Unless it's snapping your fingers and they go up.
No. Once you start using this hack, getting them up and down is the easiest thing on earth. You just do a zigzag. No,
Yeah.
You never go around. Always do the zigzag. Life changing.
I'll go around. Well, I'll go to the back and then down and then back around. And
no, I never go around. It's always a zigzag.
So the back of your tree has no lights on it. Is that what you're saying?
Oh no, you do a zigzag and then you get the next set and you do a zigzag
okay.
the way all the way, but you never have to go around the tree. And it is life changing.
This year, what happened was, so my wife's at work and I put up the tree, and then I'm an old man, so I do what old men do: is I take a nap. and then it was a longer nap, I guess, than usual, because when I came back down, my wife had already come home from work and she had hung all the ornaments, and I had not put the lights up yet. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, this is not, we have broken protocol here, Tess. My wife's name's Tess. We have broken protocol. And she's like, well, just hang the lights now. I'm like, you can't do that because you'll have ornaments all over the place. It doesn't work. It's physics. It doesn't work.
Stop lying. Stop lying.
So yeah, we had to undress the tree, and then I had to hang the lights, and then she hung the ornaments again.
Wow.
I want to address AOA's question. Real trees or fake trees here?
I've had the same fake tree for probably the better part of 10 or 12 years. Yeah. So,
yeah.
I mean, I live in
my mom used to have a fake tree. We had a fake tree for the whole time I lived in Spanish Harlem. My parents growing up. It's cheap. My brother goes to Pennsylvania every year to buy three trees and puts them up. I'm like, the fuck, man? Why you put 3 trees up, man?
3 trees?
Yeah.
I grew up having fake trees.
Yeah, one for them,
but
one for him and his wife, one for the kids, and then just one just fucking put up there. He wants to have 3 trees. He's a fucking moron.
Yeah. that's too much work. I do a real tree.
A lot of work.
I have a couple tree farms within a couple miles from my house that are cut your own, but I get mine from the fire department every year. They sell it, so I figured money goes to a good cause.
I grew up with real trees. I mean, I'm from East Texas. There's trees everywhere. So, but when I joined the Navy, obviously traveling, we had a artificial tree and we carried it. Like I said, we've had that thing in fact, my wife mentioned this year, she thinks it's about time to get a new artificial tree because we've had that one after the light fiasco. It wasn't really after the light
get a fake one.
She wants the ones with the little light filaments in there now.
Pre-lit,
and
then you just stand it up and you can take your nap and you'll never never screw it up.
She wants to get fancy. I was like,
now the pre-lit ones are nice. They do save us some significant headaches.
Yeah, that's what we have. We have the fake pre-lit.
Well, not for anything.
It's either white color or color.
I didn't know we were live, and I was talking.
Yes,
God damn you! Holy,
we're live, baby.
I didn't know you're live.
Yes, we're live, Dom. We've been live for 8.5 minutes.
It's not even 9:30 yet.
So,
look up
right
up there.
I know. I look now. I seen it. When I was see that.
Joining me, as always, the great Tomtober.
Always great.
Who I was afraid was going to be mad at me from my comments on Brewster's show, but hopefully.
No, you're good. Good.
All right, we've given the chat enough time. Let's go in and say hello. We've got GT Comic. Was there ever any doubt? And he has just pepper sprayed the entire top of the live chat with his comments. So we see you, GT, and we appreciate you. Thanks so much. AOA is busy doing his behind the scenes. I'll just throw up one of them out of just in particular. Just randomly, I'll just throw up one.
Just randomly.
And Ryan the Gray. Good evening, fellas. What's going on, Ryan? Good to see you.
Hey, welcome in, Ryan.
Ed, what's up? What's up, old fart? You're a fart. You're a fellow fart. So what's going on, my brother? And I'm losing track. I can't remember who was thrown up or not. Ryan, yeah, his wife usually does it. Yeah. I used to do the whole thing, but I finally put my foot down. Let's see. I like other people's trees. Yeah. Are you guys the kind? Do you guys go walking on Christmas Eve, or just walking? Maybe not even Christmas Eve, just walking around and looking in other people's houses at their decorations.
I don't have sidewalks where I live. So,
I've said
but
before,
we do drive around. We do drive around.
I've said before, and somebody's going to get me in a little trouble. I know someone's going to say something smart ass, but if I'm walking down the sidewalk, if I'm doing my evening walk, and if you're leaving your curtains open, I'm looking in. All right, so that's on you.
Yeah, especially if you got lights in your tree and stuff.
Perv?
I'm a people watcher. I like to see what's going on. All right,
Right. In the Bronx,
You have to stop watching when they take the clothes off, Jedi.
in the Bronx.
Oh well, no. The curtains are when the curtains close, the show's over. That's the way I've grown up.
Yeah.
Go online, Jedi. Go online and look at the Bronx. It's friggin' in the Bronx. They have the lights. This is one person that is like does all the decorations as the best looking house. It's always in magazines and stuff like that.
That's a bridge too far for me. That's
every street has that one neighbor that just like you appreciate him, and at the same time you're kind of like, really? I have a neighbor that just like for Halloween, Christmas, he just his yard is just like
how many times have you said this fucking asshole?
I always feel like, oh, that's fine.
All right, I feel like we're losing. Let's see, we got Cragdon. Happy Friday, back at you. I think I hit everybody. If not, I apologize. We're gonna get on with the show though. Joe, take it away.
All righty, got the. You want to run the old headliner in there because I forget to run it every damn week.
Well, we're old. We forget things.
All right. Well, just the season. So
nips
today, today we're gonna start getting into the Christmas spirit here. Little later on in the show, we're gonna do a little segment where we show our favorite 3 Golden Age this week. Golden Age Christmas covers. Next week we'll do Silver Age, and we'll just keep getting more recent up to the holidays. So nice little recurring holiday segment there. But first, we will start off with our fun comic now and later. See what's out there now. See what's coming in the upcoming months that might be a little bit of eye candy for you all. So this week. This is what I liked. It's available out there. Something is Killing the Children 35 came out this week. There was a Lobos 616 exclusive. It's a really, really nice. I've tried to stay away from Something is Killing the Children variants and ratios, but every now and then I was like Godfather 3. They just pull me back in. I can't help myself. It's a great cover.
I hadn't seen this one yet. I like it a lot. I'm probably going to go look for it. But a lot of we have to be careful because we never want to. We don't endorse or advertise for anybody any exclusives. But at the same time, these exclusive covers are just killing it compared to what is coming out on the rack, in my opinion.
And when you look at it, it's like, well, here's a 1 in 50 or a 1 in 100 ratio. That looks great. I love it. But then the price isn't cheap. You're not going to get it for $5.99 off a rack for a 1 in 50 or a 1 in 25. So, if you like incentives, buy them. People should buy incentives for themselves. They're not investments. Most exclusives don't really hold their value too much. Some kind of hold around what you paid for them. You're not going to buy them for long-term investments, but there's great covers and there's great artists. And, sometimes you find a store that has an artist that you really like and, they lean into that artist and let them do a bunch of cool covers. And like I said, anymore, we live in a community that's very artist based. a lot of people follow artists more so than titles in terms of what they buy. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I love Lobos, and I think it's a pretty badass cover. The second is the X-Men Blue Origins 1, the Dodderman variant. Beautiful cover. If you saw the 1 in 50 gist was number 1 on the CBSI Hot 10 list. Was selling at quite a grip over ratio, which haven't seen for a while with the ratio. This is just the open order cover. It's just a pretty cover. This book, In Between the Guts, I'm not necessarily going to recommend if you dig Mystique and want to dig into more Mystique and maybe some retconning of Nightcrawler and his origins, then it's nice. Or if you just want to see Mystique roll around with another woman, that's nice
I was
as well.
about to say something. You're like, it's a beautiful cover. I was just wondering, is it what if it was Mystique like making out with like I don't know, Cyclops or something?
Oh, not Cyclops, because he's the worst of the Summers.
He's the best Summers.
Pick your
Thank you.
X-Man. Would it be as pretty a cover?
No, it wouldn't be. But it's a nice Dodderman cover. And another thing that, people love Dodderman. So like I said, In Between the Guts, I think it's going to be a bit of a decisive book where some people like the story and some people can't stand the story. People are always on the fence about a retcon.
I like that it filled in some of the holes in Nightcrawler's origins, actually. So that's just me.
Yeah.
Bruce, for how many comics do you read a week, if you don't mind me asking? Bruce is very studious when it comes to this
15
comics. He reads several.
15 to 20 comics a week, usually.
Wow. Can anybody on the panel beat that? I'm nowhere close.
Nope. I work. I can't. I don't have time to get and take a shit.
If I get to 10,
oh, you post like 100 reels per day.
Yeah.
No, I don't, because I'm looking at when I'm bored at work. I do that. I can't read.
Yeah.
Like 2 seconds.
Dom's posting his IG post when he should be stalking the bad people in his hotel.
Hey,
there's
know.
crime all around, but Dom is like,
I
don't blame you. I wouldn't want to get bit either. I'd be scrolling IG.
Listen to me. I am a certified FSD now. I passed my test. So I'm the FSD at the hotel now. So that's time to freaking scroll on the goddamn
what's the FSD?
phone.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains it. All right.
What's the FSD?
FSD.
That explains the crime drop. The crime drop in New York lately, Dom. I was wondering.
I thought you said FSG, fucking security guard.
Yeah.
Fuck you, guard.
Yeah, so
I
have
to go on the
but I am too.
And drop the mic.
Yeah.
Right on that.
Dom gets bit by children, so we don't have to. So
yes.
Thank God.
We thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
Dom's yelling at children, so we don't have to.
Some of them should be wiped off the face of the earth.
Whoa.
Reeling it back now.
Whoa.
Let's pump them brakes.
Move along.
We have Rennavision do not support the genocide of children.
Yeah.
So last on our list, with that wonderful
intro,
Dom. With that intro, last on our list for what's out there now is a series that I like a lot, or a universe that I like a lot, is the Barbaric series. Wrong Kind of Righteous, #1. It's the 1 in 10 Bartel cover. There was the was it a 1 in 100, the black and white, Bruce, or was it a 1 in 50? Do you remember?
It was a 1 in 50, I believe. A 1 in 50?
Yeah, but for Bartel color is Bartel color. That's what makes Bartel awesome, is the color in a Bartel cover. So I like the 1 in 10 a lot better than the 1 in 50. It's pretty sharp. So, and it's still pretty reasonable out there. I believe it's out there selling at or a little below ratio. So if you're a Bartel collector, it's a nice book to have, and it's a good series. So it's one of those rare books nowadays where you're going to get a good cover and a good story inside.
Nice.
I'm 160 pounds, actually.
For the future, I went with Crave 4. Maria Lovett. It's a C cover. The FOC on it is at the end of January. It's just a really cool tarot card cover. I like Maria Lovett's art a lot. I like all these Crave covers that she's done because she does like at least 3 of the covers for every issue. But this tarot card one is just really sharp. It's a great cover. Next on the list, a newer series that's coming out, Pine and Merrimack. This is number 2. This is the Rebecca Puebla cover B. And it's just a cool cover. I haven't seen a cover like this in a while where, you know, the use of light is as, you know, stunning as it is in this. I love her art as well. So it's just a really cool cover. And that I believe is also coming in early February. I didn't see an FOC on it. So I'm sure it's one of those things that you could just find at the store.
You know, this
And
is
it's
one
a
of the rare
cover B
covers.
that's a. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bruce.
No, I was gonna say it's one of the rare covers that you actually believe that there's light hitting her in the face.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
It's really
I really love her as an artist. Like I said, she just this past week had that, and I'll talk about that book forever. The Conan, the Margaret Brundage Belit homage cover on that most recent Conan that came out this week, which is just an awesome cover. And she's also doing a lot of stuff on I think that 007 title, even though it's
At least you didn't bring up Fargo again. So.
I will bring up Fargo often and always.
This is a cover B without a trade, without a
because
not a trade, which is kind of weird to me, right?
Because I'm pushing out into February.
Mhm.
Sometimes the art they release, they'll end up throwing a trade on it.
I don't know how you do a trade on that. I guess maybe at the bottom. I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, you could do a minimal
That
trade.
would ruin
Most
it.
places. But you could do a minimal trade on it. I think it's a
Minimal
Boom.
trade,
I think it's
What
through
else?
Boom, either Boom or Image, and they kind of do some minimal trades on a lot of their books.
They could also crop the image down a little bit, put it along the top.
Yeah, they're gonna. If they did, they were gonna run this. It's
Oh yeah,
perfect the way it is.
cropping it will definitely ruin.
All right, I just noticed what's with her hand, her left hand.
Oh, it does
a
look a
weird.
little.
Yeah,
weird.
look at that.
Well, she's kind of doing the grip on the chest because she's scared because of whatever's in that crack that's looking in.
Cracking
So
the door. Hey,
she's
somebody's opening the door.
she's
It looks like
grabbing
it's
his
like
chest.
almost like this.
Yeah, she's grabbing. She's scared.
She could be missing a finger too. We don't know.
Oh no, look, little sus right here.
Plus,
she's got the hand like the guy in Scary Movie with the tree or two. I can't remember that.
I also had to
The
throw
turkey?
this in.
Yeah.
I also had to
Stop
throw
the
this
turkey.
one. Yeah, I had to throw this one in this week because if you look at the girl's face as well, and the use of light, it's very Hughes-esque. So I figure it was a nice little tie-in and homage to Adam Hughes
Is
as
she
well.
naked? She looked naked.
She's wearing just a little.
wearing a
little
shirt.
half
Down, you
shirt.
5-year-old. Jeez, appreciate the art.
It's the nips. I want to see the
God.
nips. Come on.
Oh,
Speaking
you're talking
of
about
that-
the other one. You're talking about the next one, I think.
Yes. Speaking of naked, Red Light, which is great series from Sarah Cho. She's had great DeCall covers on this book, Frank Cho covers on this book. There's a series of erotic film homage covers, and this is that cover for Red Light 4. So if you dig movie homage covers that are on the erotic side, this is definitely a winner. So it's a good one. That's the books for the week.
Thanks.
Very nice.
A couple of them in there to keep your eyes out.
Once
for.
again,
Yeah, and
proof that Joe's a perv. Go ahead.
Hey, I like what I like. And all those ones that are in the future, they're all books that are coming out in February. So there's plenty of time to find them or put them on a pre-order, get them cheap. No need to
I
no
just
need to pay
ordered
full
the.
cover.
I just ordered. Are you doing your flaming hot tonight, Brewster? Or did you
I
do
do
that
it
on your show?
Mondays.
I just ordered the 1 in 50. I guess it comes out in February. The 1 in 50 Scarlet Witch and
speed or not speed Quicksilver.
Speed Quicksilver. Yeah, there was a 1 in 50 that I ordered. It's really really nice. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I like the rose. There was a Rose Besh cover on that I kind of liked. I know Rose Besh, another divisive artist, just like Momoko. People either love Rose Besh or like, no, I don't really like that art, but I dig Rose Besh. It's something different. So in the news this week, we got Bob Iger making some excuses, basically saying the Marvels flopped at the box office because of a lack of supervision on the set. So he didn't really use this excuse for any other movie that flopped.
No, he's looking for a scapegoat.
Yes.
I mean, because you have the I think writer director, at least the director, the young lady that directed this is it's like her first major production, right?
You didn't watch the movie, Dom.
I don't care. Story sucks.
Okay, fair enough. But I'm just saying, and I've said the same thing, so I'm with Dom on that. But I'm just wondering, is Iger throwing this young writer director under the bus for this thing, saying
from what I understand about how it works when they're filming projects from Little Movie Perp, the executives are never on sets. They only show up if there's problems. If someone calls them and there's a problem or a decision has to be made. So obviously he doesn't come down from his ivory tower to talk to the peasants that know these things.
Well, number one, he's never going to come down.
The way the movie works is that you put a budget into it, you make a fucking good story. The messaging, the bullshit that they're putting in the movies are the problems. I'm telling you that. That's what Disney does. The propaganda, the pandering. That's what they're doing. Bob Iger is a piece of shit, and he belongs to get the fuck out of Disney. Start making movies that mean something and stop putting all this bullshit in the movies to fucking goddamn corrupt people. Fuck this guy.
Oh, the weird thing was I didn't hear anything.
I'm sorry.
When they were making this movie about issues on the set or troubles on the set or anything like that. It was, I mean, and that stuff always leaks out. So, I mean, he's making excuses and trying to deflect. I mean, he's going to do some type of reboot there where he's. I mean, they're doing cost cutting, so we'll see what happens out of that.
So really, the only people. The only people you really should blame are the people who are your proofreaders and your scripts. If they're not reading it and going, and it needs more work, and last time pushing it through.
Last time I checked, Kevin Feige was in charge of all these movies, and nothing got made without going past his desk, him reading it, him approving it. So if you want to blame anybody, blame Kevin Feige for everything.
Kevin Feige's another pandering.
I don't know.
Fucking goddamn gender swapping bullshit that he keeps doing.
There was none of that in this movie, Dom. There was none of that in this movie. So
Silver Surfer's gonna be a woman. We all know that.
Okay, but the Silver Surfer wasn't in this movie.
I know, but the fact is, what was the story? The story sucked.
All right, pivoting to the sinking ship that is DC off the Snyderverse.
Before you do this, this has been updated. They're now projecting. They're now projecting 50 to 60. It seems like interest is building on this project.
I hope it does.
And the last movie opened at 67 million and went on to make $1 billion plus.
So. Yeah, I don't see it making $1 billion.
Hopefully China likes this one too.
I don't see it making $1 billion.
That's good to be all accounts.
So
I only have 5. No, just kidding.
Bomb too.
Yeah, Aquaman has some. Aquaman's going to have a hurdle because coming out the same week. I believe it's the same week. They're going to be re-releasing Die Hard. Well, who's gonna go see?
Oh,
on
wow.
the 8th.
What's gonna get more, Die Hard or Aquaman?
For all the people for that huge
Aquaman.
population of people
Also,
that's never
Die Hard
seen
over
Die
the
Hard.
Yeah.
That's gonna be-
Josh. I guess Josh is the only.
Yeah, Josh is gonna.
Listen, Josh is going to be sitting on his couch with a few edibles, not watching that.
But I
He's
mean,
gonna think he's gonna be watching it, but he's really not. He's really just watching his aquarium.
I don't know. I mean, if the movie's good, I hope it does well. I mean, you have the holidays, so I'm hoping it does something. I mean, if it opens to 60 million, consider that a win in this market.
Well, does it matter though, Brucifer, if this movie does well, considering how it doesn't mean anything going forward? Does it matter how well it does? I mean,
Every
other
movie
than
matters.
financially, I guess, making. Your money back.
I think it matters because no one can do Aquaman like Momoa has done Aquaman. It's made Aquaman a household name, made Aquaman badass, made Aquaman funny. And Lobo is just going to be a side character. It's going to be a step down if they put him as Lobo.
Nope. I think Lobo is a better character than Aquaman. First of all, second
He's
of all,
he's not an
second of
A-list
all,
character.
this has nothing to do with the DCU.
You don't even like DC.
This DCU freaking goddamn what's his face? It's not even part of the goddamn regular universe. It's just a movie that's being made, and the whole Amber Heard shit. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. This movie's gonna fail too.
Yeah, I mean,
What's with you and wanting every project to fail, though?
Because they
that-
suck. Make them good. Good stories.
Well, that's kind of the other thing. We're definitely at the point where, and I guess it's always kind of been this way, but what it does at the box office doesn't mean it's a good movie.
Mhm.
Five Nights at Freddy's made a lot of money, and it had Matthew Lillard in it. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, there are good movies out there that underperform monetarily, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad movie. So,
but here's probably the only reason to go see Aquaman. If you like Aquaman and you want to see him return in the new,
all three of you like Aquaman.
Well, if it's only three people, it's only three people. If you like Aquaman and you want to see him,
And all the people
show
that
up
went
in
to
the
see the
gun
first
universe,
one. No,
it
he's
makes a lot of
coming to the
money,
gun universe anyway.
Aquaman will carry over to the gun universe. Well, no matter what iteration of maybe.
Yes.
Maybe we'll get the one with the
on the
sword
gun
in
universe. He's gonna look at
hand
the
or
Super
whatever
Friends version.
I always liked Aquaman in the Super Friends. I thought he was a good character. I like Jason Momoa. I mean, he's just he has a charisma to him. I like him. I kind of agree with Dom though. I like Jason Momoa as Aquaman. I also think he'd probably be a pretty good Lobo. But I think that character, the Lobo character, is, I don't know if DC is banking on him being more of a Deadpool type character where you can do darker things with him that you maybe can't do with a lot of these Super Friends, Super Justice League characters, maybe.
right.
Oh, they've all killed people. It's not like they haven't killed people in the last 10 years in the DCE movies. That's up for Flash. I don't think he's killed anybody.
Well, Superman killed a lot of people. Let's not give him a pass.
Flash kills a lot of people. Flash kills everyone when he changes their timeline.
Well, they deserve to die.
Yeah. Never were born, you're dead.
I agree, Three Rivers. I don't understand why they use thin characters who don't have a strong following for some of their movies. But then again, nobody gave two shits about Iron Man. Nobody gave two shits about Thor and stuff like that. And they made them into something. So maybe they thought they could do the same thing with their other characters, but I don't think that's going to work so much anymore.
Yeah,
Iron Man, and that they all had the longevity of a bigger backstory than what these Marvel Now characters have, though.
No, they did. They at least had name recognition, even if you didn't know the character. But like nobody outside of
AOA cared about Captain America.
outside of Demon in a Bottle. Nobody gave two shits about Tony Stark or Iron Man.
Iron Man Iron Man #1 was $100 for decades.
Yeah.
Nobody cared
Did
about
you-
that book.
Civil War was interesting with Iron Man, and Demon in a Bottle was interesting. Outside of that, for the longest time, and Robert Downey Jr. turned it into something. So yeah,
No, John.
I don't.
No. Just no.
Again, I don't understand. I don't understand Marvel's direction and the characters they choose to introduce and why they choose to do that. It
Well, they
confuses the
can't
shit
go
out of
with
me.
the original legacy characters for the MCU because they don't want to do these movies anymore, and they're aging out of the roles. So you
Yeah,
have
but
to
there's-
move on to newer characters.
But there's bigger characters they could move on to instead of.
Ooh,
I don't know. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have a bigger following than American Chavez. I like Monica Rambeau, but I don't think there was a huge beating down the door fan base for Monica Rambeau.
No.
Heck no. So I mean, they're B characters in the comics for the most part. They're not. I mean, America had her own series, a few series runs, but if you look at the numbers that those did, those
these
either.
These characters aren't. Those characters aren't going to get their own movies. They're going to be part of a bigger team, pretty much. There's no way they can carry a movie.
Yeah, but you just had Miss Marvel, who had a TV show that I liked. I liked the TV show, but the TV show didn't do that great on streaming. You have Brie Larson, which people, right or wrong, like or dislike, and Monica Rambeau, which is a minor character, and you're asking them to carry a movie. That's a big ask. Like I said, if this movie had come out, 8 years ago, I'd be like, okay, fine, because anything comic book did well then, and people were going to go see everything MCU, everything Marvel, because you had a larger story arc, so you would have to follow it to go in. But now it's just like,
So
really, you're going to drop that out there?
to bring this home a little bit, so show of hands, who's going to see this movie opening weekend?
I don't go to the theater for anything.
I will. I'll go
But
see it. I'll
go. Dune 2 is the only time that'll probably be my first time back in a theater in years, but that's just to go see Dune 2.
All right. So the week following this movie's release, Bruce and I are the only ones allowed to talk.
And I'm fine with that.
I'm
I'm not gonna call it shit. And I love Black Manta. I think they have a great villain.
Listen, go watch that piece of shit show.
And they didn't kill off their villain. I was like,
yeah, and he's a good villain. I mean, that's one thing Marvel shits the bed with all the time is Marvel. Ever since Thanos, they crap out these shitty villains that might have been good in the comic book, but they one and done them in the series.
Black Manta or Manta, right?
Black Manta.
Yeah.
Black Manta. So Bruce, for you tell me, he's in my mind, an A-list villain for Aquaman, right? I mean,
yeah.
So we didn't get very much of him in Aquaman 1. We kind of got the origin story a little bit of him. So going forward with Aquaman, his facing off against what I feel like is his primary nemesis, I think should make for a good story, a good movie. Now, whether or not it will or not, I have no idea.
Yeah, because it looks like it's going. I think James Wan is leaning more on the horror side of things, looking at some of the creatures and how I don't know. It reminded me of maybe aliens underwater, a little bit of it. Some of the creatures. I think
I'm not unexcited to see the movie. I want to see it. I'm just not going to see it in the theater. I'll wait the 30 to 60 to 90 days, however long it's going to take to come out to streaming or video on demand. It's a movie that I would consider just throwing in and maybe renting early or buying early, but I don't know. Theater things ain't for me. I hate people.
This will be the last movie in a 10 year 2003 was when when Man of Steel came out, or 2013? Was it? When did Man of Steel come out? 2013?
Our research department is on it.
2013. 2013.
There it is.
Yeah, 10 years. That's 10 years. You know, now it's time for a complete reboot, reset. Well, not a complete.
It's time for a crisis. It's time for a crisis.
We just had a crisis.
There's
had a
always a
crisis.
crisis.
Hey, we haven't had a crisis in 3 years already, right?
All right.
Time for a new one.
Yeah, we talked about Aquaman a long time. What's
Yeah.
next?
So Beetlejuice 2 has finished filming. I really just like this article because of Michael Keaton's quote that Beetlejuice is the most fucking fun you can have working, which I thought was just a great actual quote that he had. So apparently he's having a blast being back in the role. Set to be in theaters September 6th. So next fall, you can see Michael Keaton be Beetlejuice again.
Yeah, I'll pass on this too. No Alec Baldwin.
Well,
Oh my
he has
God,
his own
really?
problems.
That's why you're passing, because of no
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin.
Yep.
He has his own
Yep.
problems. But yeah, I don't know. I like Jenny Ortega.
In my list of favorite, I guess of least favorite character actors, there's Brie Larson, and then there's Alec Baldwin here somewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not gonna miss him at all.
Yeah, I might even take a Steven and a Billy above an Alec at this point. Outside Alec's remake of The Getaway, which still wasn't as good as the Steve McQueen original, but
I don't know about Billy.
yeah.
I don't know, man. This movie's gonna have
Really?
Jenna in it. I'm gonna go see it. It's got Jenna Ortez in it. Ortiz.
Yeah, I just-
the original Beetlejuice. You can't top the original. I'm sorry. This is gonna be watered down.
I mean Burton is Burton, and Burton will be Burton.
Mhm.
So I mean of any director I
the-
could say that would stay original to his feel if he wanted to and would get probably no pushback would be
Not to spin Dom
Timber.
up, but what was so over the top about the first Beetlejuice that they're gonna water down and
Well, the
putting his
first
hand on
Beetlejuice-
some lady's
No,
half
I'm
lady's
just saying,
leg?
Just now, this day and age, these movies suck, man. Because there's so much that they can't do.
I
So
like
you're saying
that
they're
he
gonna make it-
says
you're saying they're gonna make it woke. Is that if I
He's-
understand what
he-
you're saying? Okay.
Michael
That's okay.
Keaton is quoted
That's what
as
movies are.
saying
That's-
Michael Keaton is quoted here as saying we're doing it exactly like we did the first movie. So
Well, we'll see.
we'll see. I'm hoping.
Nope.
I love Michael Keaton. He's a fellow Pittsburgher, so
That's why
I-
I'm getting tired.
I'll watch Gung Ho
Hold
with
it
a
against
smile.
Back to Disney again with Bob Iger. He's like, saying he's blaming not supervision, bad writing, propaganda. Come on, man. That's the thing. He is
Well,
him, Kevin Feige, and now all part of that freaking crew, all that Kathleen Kennedy, all that, and that's the problem. Just make a fucking movie with a great story. That's all I want.
And I'm hoping. I mean, they took a long time with this to decide to do it. And again, I mean, Tim
Yeah, they
Burton's
did.
had some shit movies over the years as well. We all saw that Planet of the Apes movie. It was
Are we gonna get the
Fucking
Endless
awful.
Hands part?
I didn't mind
part
it.
two? Part two,
I
like
just-
50 years later.
it was pretty bad. But
I mean, Dom,
but-
there is bad writing. I'm not going to argue with Dom that there's bad writing out there because we see
there's
it
plenty.
like at least we see it all the time. But I
watched
think
Al
we
Desmond today.
I think we romanticize a lot of the movies that we grew up loving. And if we were to go back and see them with fresh eyes for the first time, we would probably be like, "What the fuck? This is stupid."
I still watch Beetlejuice, and I'm
but
happy with
It's
it.
just bad writing. The Marvels could have made $1 billion if the writing was better.
No, they never would have made $1 billion.
All right.
Wait a minute.
There are very few things that are going to be making $1 billion
Well, you know what?
nowadays.
Well, make a couple, maybe make double or triple the money they made. I can tell you that.
They should have just
I-
put it on TV.
Can
and
I
it
ask you a
shouldn't
question,
be.
Dom? What do you mean by bad writing?
Bad writing. The
Yes, what do you
writing.
mean?
Bad writing.
Give
Story
me an
sucked.
example of bad
Okay,
writing.
bad
How
writing.
story suck?
Story sucked.
That's not answering my question,
No,
Dom.
story sucked. Fucking singing, doing some stupid freaking goddamn on a planet. You have to sing, just the bullshit dialect. all the stuff that they
You know that's from a comic that's in canon in the comics.
it's
that
the
planet.
canon comic. I know, but the way they did it, bad writing.
Are you serious?
Bad writing.
That was canon in comics. That
Yes.
scene. That's
Hey, look,
that
I'm
you
not
Yes,
remember?
that
saying-
planet,
look, I'm not
yes.
saying you like everything you want to enjoy.
Oh,
so
they
go
should have
ahead.
canceled that
But
comic right after that issue
It's
came out.
not. It's not what. It's not what I want. This is not what I want. I want some good shit with good writing. I want stuff that will fucking blow my mind. This stuff.
You keep saying good writing, but you can't give me examples of
Good
bad
writing?
writing in these projects.
Yo, good writing. Look, every movie has its faults. But I tell you what, Endgame was
The
good
Godfather
writing.
2. That was some good
Godfather
writing.
2 was
though.
good writing. The Good, the Bad, the
Was
Ugly
good.
was good writing. Freaking goddamn West Side Story, good
That
writing.
was Antonio Andolini.
All these movies, good writing.
Notice he didn't
That's-
say
that's-
Star Wars
not
anywhere
right.
in there.
That seems to be
I
the
can tell you,
go-to.
She-Hulk. She-Hulk
That
was
seems
shit
to-
writing.
That seems to be the
Uh,
go-to when you have no clue about what you're
What
talking
about
about when it
She-Hulk?
comes to some of these
She-Hulk,
movies.
That was
Just saying.
She-Hulk. What about She-Hulk? She-Hulk was the fucking.
She-Hulk was shit
didn't-
writing.
people enjoy She-Hulk.
They could
The
enjoy
people
it.
was
enjoyed
funny.
She-Hulk, yeah, but
There,
it sucked.
there's people that'll consider
Whoa,
watch
whoa,
Double Dare
whoa,
all day.
whoa, whoa. Dom, when She-Hulk was coming out, you and I were doing MCM or Get Off our Mail Call Madness at the time. You and I both liked She-Hulk, so I'm not going to let you
As I
go.
watched it
I
again,
got to call you on that, Dom.
Uh-huh. There you go.
Yeah,
Bam.
for me, it was bad, and I know why I feel it was bad. I thought I thought her character made no goddamn sense as a driven, supposedly good lawyer. She
It's a
was
comic
completely
book lawyer
incompetent.
story.
She
Come
was
on.
incompetent as a lawyer, but that
They-
was
demasculated the Hulk.
of the
Come on.
story.
Nobody's watching She-Hulk for the law.
She-Hulk to me,
and
I love
it doesn't
She-Hulk.
have to-
It's a Beetlejuice topic, but She-Hulk to me was a sitcom. That's the way I looked at
Yes.
it.
It was
But
sitcom,
I get
they demasculated
Ally-
the Hulk.
In sitcoms.
The Hulk.
Ally McBeal was a sitcom,
I know,
but they
wasn't it?
still handled law well in it. It wasn't a
There's
complete
a dancing
farcical.
baby in a courtroom. Come on.
It wasn't completely
one episode.
farcical in terms of the court stuff. I'm sorry, when you hire a divorce attorney and then they work against you because you're a man and they don't like you, that's stupid
All right.
writing. That's
Yeah,
just
Fucking what's
stupid.
the other freaking
Right.
goddamn
So Dom liked it when he
Secret
was on,
Invasion.
but
Secret
he
Invasion.
saw a video that said it
Wait,
was bad,
listen,
and now he's
no,
saying it's bad.
Secret
Okay.
Invasion. Secret Invasion sucked.
Secret Invasion. They took
Oh.
Nick Fury's balls and they put them
Yeah,
somewhere
and the
else.
same thing. They cut Nick Fury's balls in freaking goddamn Marvels. They
I'm
made
all
him comic
for
book.
calling
Come
out
on,
bad
man.
writing when
Don't
we see
bullshit.
it. But I'm all for calling out bad writing when we see it. But to say Beetlejuice is going to suck because of bad writing when it doesn't come out for another year,
Yeah.
I think is bullshit. I don't think
Well, I
you
didn't say
can do
bad
that.
writing. I just said that's going to be watered down. Because it's things
I
that
saw-
can't
I saw
say,
Dial of
do,
Destiny
why,
today.
They can't. You can't say certain things. You can't do this. You can't do that. Oh, hurt this person. Hurt that person.
I'll watch that after
Do a
this.
movie. Just do a movie.
I watched
Culture
I watched
does
Dial of
change,
Destiny because
Dom.
Culture
Dial
does
of
change,
Destiny
but you
came
know
out
what?
today. It was a
doesn't
movie
change
that
as
was
much as it is
decisive.
now. Come on, man.
A
Think
a
about
lot
it.
of people were bashing Dial of Destiny and blah blah blah.
If you
It was
blow, if
fine.
you blow in the wind, people get mad because you blew in the wind. Come on, man.
I did not, even when Dial of Destiny. So again, I saw Dial of Destiny on opening weekend. I didn't hate it. I thought it was entertaining.
It was
okay.
serviceable. It was
It wasn't on the level of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
No,
but
the fact is,
Maybe
I
because
think
he's
they
80. He's 80 years old. Just
And they
saying.
gave it to a female. The female got the spotlight. It wasn't about Indiana Jones.
What?
That's
no,
why.
it was a bad. But and you know what? I came into it. I hadn't seen it until I was waiting until it came out. I wasn't, I'd heard what everybody had said about it. It came to streaming today, and I watched it, and it was fine. It was. I had one issue with it, and I hate stupid movie inconsistency shit. Like, I'm sorry, if you go across a bridge and it breaks, you don't leave a scene 10 minutes later and walk across that same bridge because that fucking bridge broke and I saw it. That kind of shit bothers me in movies because that's something that an editor should be able to
Bad
be like,
writing.
oh, that's fucking stupid.
Bad, right.
Bad.
That's
So
bad
what happened
editing.
to what happened
That's
to
just bad writing, right?
I hate
what
the
was that?
Crystal
What was
Skull. I hate
what was
the
that
Crystal
move?
Skull.
what was that
Crystal
movie that
Skull,
just
what?
came out? Flowers or something? Scorsese.
It was
That flop. Was that bad writing too?
And again, we can't equate money to quality, because a lot of really bad shit makes a lot of money and a lot of really good shit doesn't make any. But I don't know.
And listen,
I think-
the friggin' Crystal Skull, when fucking Indiana Jones went in the goddamn refrigerator, an atomic bomb. Give me a fucking break. That's another thing too.
I know.
Crystal Skull's a whole nother
Damn,
level
George
of
Lucas always messing stuff
things
up.
that shouldn't have happened.
It was Disney.
All right.
On
This is
a
gonna be
lighter
great.
note, the Ted streaming series dropped a trailer where Ted and John try to survive high school in this 90s set prequel on.
Is this done by McFarlane? Seth MacFarlane?
I think he's
I assume he
producing it
has a
at a
hand in it.
minimum.
I hope
Yeah.
so, because it's going to be cut down. It's not going to be like Ted, the original Ted.
Well, I don't know. It's on Peacock. They can do whatever they want on Peacock.
Tom, are you going to say that about everything that we talk about?
Because everything they can't get raunchy and do the way they did things before. This stuff like this, the prequels, it's going to be watered down.
All right, you say they can't do that, but if you watch South Park and a lot of those shows, they
South
still
Park,
do that.
I know, and I enjoy that. I want them to get. I want them to do that in everything.
Yeah.
Come on,
So-
man. Why is it so?
So I
fucking
think
hard to do that?
McFarlane is in the same
Have you not
vein
watched
to me
Family Guy?
Yeah.
On
Well,
network
yeah.
TV.
Well, Family Guy kind of got that because Disney took over freaking goddamn took over damn Fox. It's kind of there's some things that they it's not like it was. It's not like it was.
Have you
I think
watched
I
Family
mean
Guy
I
lately?
could be totally let down by this show, but this is one show that I have high expectations that I really it is up there on my list of shows that I want to
And
see.
I hope that it piques your your freaking interest and it works out. But I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna fail because it can't be done in this society today.
It'll we'll see how it turns out. But it's content. Nobody forces us to watch
All
content.
right, I'll give you this example right here. Days of Our Lives moved from NBC to Peacock. There are
Like
more
Sands to
references
Hourglass.
to dicks, vaginas, and tits on that show now
Yeah.
than anytime it was on network television.
Because you under network television, you're stuck
watch
under
soap
those
operas,
network
man.
television standards.
I want to see some stuff. I want to see shows, regular shows.
I never thought I ever hear Marlena ever say magic penis. So just saying.
I feel bad Victor Kiriakis is no longer around. Jennifer
He was such a
Aniston's
good
father.
actor. Such a good actor.
And Jennifer Aniston's father.
Mhm.
All right. So if you're
I'm
looking
excited.
forward, if you like the Ted movies, I'm sure McFarlane has a heavy hand in this, like he does all his
Is it a
projects.
series or a movie?
Series.
The series.
Series.
So either way, I'll watch the first couple episodes. If it makes me laugh, I'll keep watching it. So,
All right, I'll give you a good example of a movie that really sucked that I really wanted to enjoy. History of the World. History of the World, Mel Brooks. That shit fucking sucked. The new one.
The new one.
oh yeah. Well,
Well, I mean, that's a
Mel
fine
Brooks
example.
movies.
Yeah, but Mel Brooks wasn't involved with that other than doing the narration, I don't think, was he?
That's what
Probably
I'm trying
not
to say.
heavily anyway.
Yeah, you can't do Mel Brooks now.
That's
Nowadays.
what I want Mel Brooks to do what he did now.
Maybe. I think he wrote History of the World Part 2.
Which was the
Pretty sure
first
he
one.
did. So
Was the
whatever
first
whatever the Hulu one was, I think he wrote that as well.
He did? Oh, well.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
He's also in his like mid.
Well,
some
then,
of
Mel, that one sucked. So, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get, I guess you're allowed one.
I know Bruce Fur will be happy because James Wan has a movie coming. Him
The
and
King of
Bloom-
Horror.
Him and Jason Bloom have a movie coming out to theaters in January. They dropped a trailer for it called Night Swim. It's supposed to be creepy and make
Did
you
anybody else
feel
watch the
about
trailer for
pools.
this?
Like I watched a little bit. I didn't even get a chance to watch the full trailer because I was watching
I don't
it.
know, it
and
seems-
something cut in.
I for some reason, and I can't even point to any particular part of the trailer that made me think it reminded me for some reason of Poltergeist a little bit. I couldn't even tell you why. I couldn't even, maybe it's the pool scene or whatever, but I got a feeling if you're a fan of jump scare movies, that this movie is for you. I think.
Actually,
I do
It
love
seems
jump
like
scares.
it's-
I'm gonna watch the trailer right now.
Yeah,
the
Alex,
movie
I'm-
by water is the, was it 400 feet below? Was it 42 meters below the movie when they stuck in the cage, the sharks? That was a good movie.
Oh, 42
Oh, that was-
fathoms.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was
that's
good.
a good movie.
That the lights were
But
shut
yeah.
off, the open thing, and the sharks are all over there. It's like really cool. That's good.
Like I said, there has to be I think there's going to be a big horror resurgence. I mean, it's already big, but I think
Yeah, you can't miss with horror right about now.
and the movies they can make horror movies cheap, and
Yeah.
people will watch them, and they easily at a minimum break even. At best, they will do 5-10 times budget. So.
I've said it before. I love horror movies. I don't normally go see them in theaters because I don't want to scream like a little girl and have people staring at me. But if my oldest son lived closer, he lives in the mainland. If he were here, he and I would go see this in the theater. My youngest son does not like, who's my movie buddy. My youngest son does not like horror flicks, so I usually have to wait till streaming to see horror movies. But I like it. I think this is going to, again, I think for jump scare fans, I think this one
What is
at
it
least
about?
seems to be like it's the perfect story and everything for jump scares.
Is it a
So,
super-
It's
you're in a pool.
basically what they bill this as a movie that will make you feel about swimming pools what Jaws made you feel about being in the ocean.
Oh, it's like someone peed
So.
in the pool.
There's a
You get
turd
back to
floating
this.
in the pool.
Turd. Dookie. Fucking guy, your caddy check.
Baby Ruth.
It's okay. So good.
Dookie. Baby Ruth.
Bruce is
And
still watching the trailer. He's terrified right now. He's got this little,
he's good.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, James Wan knows what he's doing with a horror movie, so yeah, he has the formula down at this point.
Was the pool boy? The pool boy is getting on with a girl, and that's what happens. He gets killed and becomes a. The pool
You
becomes haunted.
downloaded the wrong movie again, Dom.
Yeah, right there.
Cutting into my strings. So the Furiosa trailer dropped, which I'm happy about
What happened?
because
Six, bad movie.
I didn't like it. I thought this
Yeah.
trailer sucked.
I
I
don't know anything about this one.
I trust in George Miller. It's George Miller.
It-
I will let him tell his story.
Oh, it's a prequel to Mad Max. Oh, ooh.
It's a prequel. No, it's a prequel to to Fury
The
Road.
Fury Road.
So
Fury
it's
Road,
about
yeah, okay,
Furiosa.
Got it.
Hey, you got
My-
Chris Hainsworth. He didn't look like Chris Hainsworth. Is this basically?
He has a prosthetic nose.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
The face.
Yeah.
It looks like like he's like an animated CGI character.
All I know is
I'll have to check out. I haven't seen the trailer. I have to check it out.
I'm fine them dealing with this character. I don't want to see Mad Max. Stop rehashing that at this point because that's that to me will
Is this
always
a-
be Mel Gibson.
So this is
Yeah.
a prequel to the what's her name? The
Fury
20
Road. Furiosa.
Yeah, Fury-
the
the 2012, the
Charlize Theron.
2012 one.
Yeah, no, but the character that was
Charlize
played
Theron.
by that
Yeah.
Charlize Theron. It's a prequel to her
Yeah.
character, right? Okay.
Yep. Yeah. With Anya Taylor-Joy as
My
That's Furiosa.
issue with this was that it feels like they're using the same villain from that movie.
yeah,
And
and he's also the same villain
So-
from Mad Max 1 and Road Warrior.
I don't know.
It's the same actor.
After seeing the Rick
the
and
same
Morty
character.
parody of
Same character too.
After seeing the Rick and Morty
know.
parody of these movies, I don't know if I can watch any of the others with any seriousness ever again.
I just love them. I
They did
find
a
them
great
to be
parody of,
hilarious and
Road
crazy.
Warrior.
I'll have to look that up. I'll have to look that up. I'm not sure if it's the same. I don't.
I definitely
I
know
guess
it's
I
the same
haven't
actor.
I
It's
know
Toe
it's the
Cutter.
same actor. Yeah, I know it's the same actor, but
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up. All right. It just seems like if you're using the same villain in the movie, you know he's going to survive because he's in the next movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's my issue.
But
Like Darth Vader. He's the
Yeah,
Darth
I don't-
Vader
I
of
just-
the Mad Max.
I just love the craziness of these movies.
Furiosa, I am your father.
I don't know. I like the universe. I like the movies. I like the weirdness of it, and
Yeah,
because Miller is doing it, I will see it and watch it. If it was somebody else doing it, I wouldn't care so much.
Well, I think so. When you say you'll see it and watch it, Joe, you're not talking about theater, so you're going to
no, fuck no. I don't go to the theater.
Yeah, okay, that's right. Yeah.
Dune 2.
I think we're all there.
That's the only thing that's going to drag me out.
Joe
to the theater is Dune 2.
Joe doesn't leave his property.
No, only my property. I just walk the border with a shotgun all day. That's,
Have you seen the people who go to Pittsburgh theaters?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
There's some rough areas.
People are people the world over.
But no, I like it. I will see it the second I can buy it or rent it on VOD. But Dune 2 is the only thing that's going to get me in the theater. Sorry.
AOA synopsis of our comments are one for the classic. He does such a great job of.
I just watched that.
What we're saying.
I watched that trailer for Night Swim. Holy hell. That looks
pretty
amazing.
good.
Wow.
Yeah, it does.
All right, boys, you want to do some pickups? We can do some pickups, little mid-show pickups.
All right. You know me? I can go first. I got stuff. Since my stuff's probably but before that, Dom, I'm gonna crack one open. I'm using my Cowboy koozie today because the Cowboys finally beat a team with a winning record. So
there you go.
They were
very nice.
They were 6-5.
Yeah, winning record. Like I said, stinks. All right.
I know how the math
things.
works.
There.
I'll go through these really quickly. I think you guys. So I got one of these. Told you I would. Just took
nice. Those are nice. I like all the kind of pulp.
For some reason I only got one. I normally buy two of these things, but I don't know why. So I got this is. I'll sit these down. I got some Vampirella. This is the Gundus.
Nice Dead Flowers.
Gundus cover. I really like. It's one like this. Maybe I don't know if it's my favorite Vampirella, but it's pretty close now to one of my favorites.
Yeah, it is nice.
So this is. What am I doing here? This is Colette Turner, I believe. I'm trying to do a little homework, so I sound as smart as Joe now. So this is Colette Turner, Vampirella. Obviously, you got the trade, the Virgin.
Yeah, I like it.
The trade black and white. The Virgin.
It's Dynamite. Dynamite will get you, man. Dynamite will get you.
Jedi, don't do it. Don't do it.
I picked this up on a whim. I guess no one else bid on it. I think I paid $10 for it. It's the Something's Killing the Children 30-35, the one per store variant.
That's nice.
Del Adira.
Yeah, he's the guy that does most of the he does most of the.
So there's a trade version, obviously, I guess, of this too, but this is all right. So yeah, I did find one Hughes. I had one signed Hughes that I brought up, Alice in Neverland, that I picked up recently. This is signed by Ryan Kincaid. The artist is Marissa Polo or something like that. But I just really like the colors and the obviously the good looking lady on there, but the colors in the background I thought were pretty cool. Don't know anything about this Persuasion comic, but I just like the cover. Signed by Kincaid.
Nice.
Speaking of, let's see, who is it? This is Alex Garza. Sign this one.
Nice.
The hot chick riding a sub sandwich.
Two of my favorite things together on a.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have wet dreams about this. So this is pretty cool.
And some days I'm more attracted to the sandwich.
Joe might like this one. This is a Jay Lee 1 in 30 of
I
her.
do love Jay.
Jay's
I like his Sonya covers. They're sharp. It's just always.
I don't know why I picked this up, but it's probably because it was signed. But I don't think it. Anyway. See. So these are pretty cool. These are all signed. I think these are signed by Kincaid. I think Kincaid did these covers. But I thought these were pretty cool. I don't even know the title of this, to be honest, but I just like the covers. This is kind of the I think these are Suicide Squad. I think Suicide Squad 5. I think is what these are. This is. I thought these were cool renditions of the characters.
Yeah.
Kincaid signed each one of these, so that's pretty cool.
Nice.
At least I think he did. And same thing.
Not nice.
That's cool. So that's all I got this week. All I have prepared to share.
Hey, sometimes I'm hungry. What can I
That's
say?
all I got. Next.
All right, who we got? Who we got next?
Nothing for me this week.
I'll go. I do want to show this for AOA, since he loves Captain America. I don't know if I ever showed this.
Alex Ross,
Oh, nice.
Dynamic Forces. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool.
I do have a Captain America book, damn it. All right, Green Lantern, Alan Scott, #2. The action figure. Yep. Toy variant. Another McFarlane toy variant. Batman 89. I think it's 89. Yep, 89. City Boy #6. I love this cover.
City Boy, not Titty Boy.
City Boy.
Shitty
Lady
boy.
Boy, Hong Kong.
Shitty boy.
Detective Comics. Another McFarlane
Deja
toy
vu all
variant.
over again. I see these books sometime before.
DC is just kicking Marvel's ass. You can say whatever you want about the MCU versus DCU. Comes to covers.
American Psycho #1, second printing.
Marvel wants to come back and everything. That's what they said.
Titans Beast World #1, lenticular cover.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
The intentional cover. The intentional cover. Here you go.
Not testicular. All right.
Lenticular.
Lenticular. I remember when sports cards did lenticular sports cards.
Yeah.
Those went over like a wet fart. Nobody liked
Yeah.
them.
A little Miles Morales 1 in 25.
Nice. Bolderon.
Howdy Duck.
I like
Scotty
that
Young.
Scotty. That's one of my favorite Scotties I've seen in a long time.
Green Lantern 81, DCU variant.
Oh, nice.
Why is that Howard the Duck Scotty Young so good? Why?
I just think it's a sharp cover. It's not just you have a bit of a background. I like a black and white.
No adventures.
It feels
Yeah,
kind of.
I actually agree
Marsh.
with Dom. I'm not a big fan of that cover either, but it's pretty.
I also like Howard the Duck, so it's kind of
Yeah,
a personal.
Well,
thing as
they
well.
go like for Nor type of feel, right?
Little Shadow of the Bat, DCU. And another.
I can't wait to see which show that Bruce is going to get the final DC books that he needs to wrap up that.
Oh, when he gets the final book, then they'll discover 5 more that are out there.
I know, right?
I'm missing 42.
Wait, but wasn't it 42 before?
No,
No.
no, it's like 50 something.
Oh.
Yeah. We're gonna have to put a little counter in the corner for you, Bruce.
You should have like
I know.
a meter counter. Like you should put something up there, like a thing, and it shows the books that are checked off. What you need now.
Okay, I got some goodies here that just came in. Let's see. Is Basic Instinct, the NYCC cover.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, it was a little weird. It was a little weird, but
Like glass or candy on it. What the hell was that in her face?
yeah, it's a little weird. It's kind of gems, but this
Oh, yeah. Right.
the 1 in 10. I got a few copies of that. I do like the 1 in 10. It's pretty sharp. I like the just open order A cover the best. The Vanessa Del Rey. That's very pretty. Let's see. I got a couple of the Frizzen 1 in 100s, the Berserker Fallen Empire, the foil. You could get this if you don't feel like shilling out for a 1 in 100. You can get the 1 in 25, which is this without the foil, and I think there's a black and white cover as well.
There's a silver and black cover foil of it too.
And I think that might be a 1 in 10, but I don't know. It Boom had a Black Friday sale where if you bought over a certain amount, you would get a certain discount, and it just kept going. The discount kept going up. So I figured 2 copies at the discount that I was getting, and they were selling them already below ratio. It worked out to be like $55 a book for 100. I'm fine with that. I collect a lot of frizz and stuff, so I'll throw it in the box with the frizz and stuff, and keep it there. I
stumbled across Soza Micah's personal. I stumbled across Soza Micah's website the other day, and I'm like, shit, this is just what I need.
Oh, it's speaking of artists. I got my Art of Art Adams hardcover sketchbook. Awesome book. Also got a very nice large Art Adams signed print, which is really cool.
It was a print. I thought it was OA, man. I was like, what?
I wish it was OA. I mean, it's signed, but yeah, it's just a print. I don't have OA kind of money. But
yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
but it's a nice size of print. So I am happy with that. And then
you can fool us novices and tell us it's OA, and we will be like,
yeah,
what?
I wouldn't fool you all like that. And then another signed print. It's a nice package. It took a little while to come together, but Flesk Publications that put this together with Art Adams, they do a lot of work with directly with artists. So they're a good group, and it's nice. Even the envelope that the smaller prints came in was actually signed by Art Adams. So I thought that was kind of cool.
That's cool.
And then I got A24 Studios that makes the movies. They sell zines. I don't know if you remember zines if you grew up in the 90s and 80s.
Fanzines?
So yeah, these aren't fanzines. These are basically companion zines for movies they put out that have basically content from either the creators or the actors or whatever. So I got Dance Like Me, which is a Stop Making Sense Talking Heads, the reissue of the movie documentary. So that's one. We got this We Come in Peace. This is a good one. There's good interviews in here with John C. Reilly and Tim Heidecker. So that's always fun. Coming to a theater near you. These are really fun inside. If you were a fan of just kind of like shit produced zines in the 90s, these capture that kind of feel. I got Salvation, which has some spiciness inside, and American Hustlers. So those were fun. So that's what I got in this week.
Cool.
Anybody else? Any pickups?
Not for me.
Nope, I haven't got anything.
Not handy anyway.
You and me both. I need a new camera, Jeffrey Drake.
Jedi. Mad Max has been doing a series where he goes around collecting cassette tapes. He bought Walkmans and cassette tapes. First time hearing Metallica on tape for him.
Oh, I miss Walkmans. I don't only own smut art. I also own tasteful smut art. We call it erotica. I own smut and erotica. I own both types of art.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Someone had a comment up here for me. Oh, okay, here it is. There seems to be a theme going with these covers, Jedi. Yeah, because the covers that I used to collect, Star Wars, they suck anymore. So yeah, I'm changing vectors.
Come over to DC. Come over to DC.
They're just crap. Marvel covers are just 100%. DC is killing them on covers right now.
Yeah. So
and
the
Indie
next
too.
segment,
Indie's killing them on covers.
Yeah. Indie has just great artists, and I don't know, they tend to push the envelope a little more. Feels a little bit less of a cash grab sometimes from a lot of the indies. Whereas, Marvel's going to be like, hey, do you like this cover? Well, we'll give you a virgin version, and then
version.
For
then we'll give you
$100.
then we'll give you the
Before.
black and white second print of that as like they
Exactly. We'll give you a version of that version cover. There you
And
go.
people will still buy them.
Yep.
Yep,
Yeah.
they will. So the entertainment section tonight, we kind of have a before I was born. So I kind of asked the guys. Yeah, it's
Oops, I forgot my movie.
Jedi had a good idea. You could talk about it if you want, Bruce.
I know what it is.
Finally, he had a good idea.
So to just, think of a movie that you really love that was made before you were born. We've seemed to run into a lot of people who seem to know it's as if nothing occurred either before they were born or before they were a teenager. As if
Josh.
As if film and entertainment did not exist. I think that's only valid for sticks in terms of moving pictures and when they came out. But so I asked the guys to just come up with some movies that were special to them that came out before they were born. First one, this is me. Dirty Dozen, 1967. This is by far one of my favorite older movies. There's certain movies my father and I always watch together to this day. If I go up and visit him, if it's on TV playing or whatever, we will both sit and watch it. That's old Connery James Bond, old Eastwood spaghetti westerns, and The Dirty Dozen. And to me, this is a great movie. Fantastic cast.
Yep.
Jim Brown, Lee Marvin, Charles Bronson, young Donald Sutherland, John Cassavetes. It is a fantastic movie, and these movies are not long either. Like, you could sit and watch one of these movies. They're entertaining the whole way through, and they're not some 3-hour epic adventure. So, anybody else here seen The Dirty Dozen? I would hope.
Oh yeah, great movie.
My father loved this movie. My father used to I like the same with you. I used to sit down with my dad back in the day. I really wish I could sit with my dad now. I wish he was around now. But when I was younger, we sat down and watched these movies. And that's why we had Grease last week about the movies that you didn't think you're gonna like as you actually liked. These are the movies I liked. I used to watch these movies, and that's why action flicks and sci-fi is my cup of tea, man.
What do you know about sci-fi?
You'd be surprised. Dom has a deep bank of older movie sci-fi. Don't sell him short.
Stuff I like.
Yeah. So that one was I like I said, I love it. Lee Marvin, outside of the horrible musical that he did with Clint Eastwood,
Paint Your Wagon.
I love Lee Marvin. He is what you want out of that movie, and you get Ernest Borgnine in the movie as well. So you can't go wrong with Ernest Borgnine. But I definitely highly recommend it. It is a fantastic, all-star cast to that movie, and a winner all the way around.
Mermaid Man himself.
Yes, he is. Next up on the list, 10 Commandments.
This is my pick.
I knew
I don't
that.
know why Sticks. I don't know what garnered that reaction from Sticks when this movie popped up. What was that, Sticks?
I love this movie.
Oh, okay. I think we're like. Oh,
no, I love this movie.
No, okay, well, good. 10 Commandments is my pick. Growing up in the country where we only had like 3 channels, this movie came on. I forget which network it was. Probably either CBS or ABC. I think I can't remember. This was an event, really, when this movie would come on, because back then I think it came on and it was 2 parts. It was like a 2-day movie, which you would have part of it, and then you'd have, because in the original theater release there was an intermission. So I think the first day there would be like they play the first part of the movie, and the second movie night they would play 2. So love this movie. I can't count how many times I've watched this movie. Oddly enough, doing a little research on this because I wanted to be able to talk kind of smart to it. I guess they still show this movie. I say I want to be
Holidays.
smart, and then I forgot.
Yeah.
I think this
Easter.
movie still comes on every Easter. I think.
Yes.
As
Yep.
Yes,
a
it does.
movie
So
event.
I know that
They only-
they used to do that all the time.
Yeah, so it's only a one movie night now. They don't do it two, but great
Bruce
movie.
has it
Charlton Heston, Yul Brynner, and
Vincent
they're
Price is in this
fantastic.
movie.
Huh? Vince Price?
Vincent Price is in the movie too.
Oh yeah, I think and can I just say, as a show that likes good-looking ladies, the ladies in this movie were hot. I mean, there were some hot chicks
Back
in
in
this
the day,
movie back then.
Those,
So
baby.
they were gorgeous,
Elegant.
Elegant.
Not
So
that
yeah, I
fancy
just
stuff.
grew up watching this every year. I would watch this every year. It was a television event where, you know, the family, when I say the family, my mother and my brother and I would be around the TV watching this show. It's I believe it's fairly accurate to the biblically accurate. I think.
Nah, listen, History of the World, Mel brooks. I give you 15.
Okay,
10
that's probably
commandments.
not as accurate as this. So,
Oh God.
Yul Brynner's great.
Yeah.
I love Yul Brynner.
Yeah.
I think the only difference is, I think, and not to go biblical on the show, but I think according to the Bible, Moses was not as articulate as they made him out to be with Charlton Heston in this movie. But other than that, I think they said it was pretty accurate. I love this movie. To this day, I'll watch this movie if I catch it on.
And if Charlton Heston can play a Mexican in the third band, I think he can play Moses.
Yep. So, back in the day.
It was one of Lee DeMille's greatest movies. So.
Yeah, I mean, these types of movies, they were called epics for a reason. They were such large scale movies back then.
So speaking of box office, though, I did look this up too, since we love to talk about box office. A $13 million budget, box office throughout the years. Lord knows how many times it's been re-released in the theaters. 122.7 million in box office sales over the years on a 13 million. Now you take inflation and the cost of the weight of the dollar, et cetera, but yeah.
I like the coming attractions, the trailers to these old movies. You know.
Oh yeah.
It's always
they had great trailers back then.
Yeah.
The trailers were always well done. Next on the list, Good, the Bad, the Ugly, 1966.
That's my flick. My dad used to watch this. Clint Eastwood movies. On my top of my A list of movies that I enjoy, especially I do enjoy Westerns. I love Westerns. That's another genre. I don't talk enough about Westerns, but Westerns are such a great pastime with my dad. I used to sit down and watch this. My dad, and I knew Eli Wallach. Eli Wallach lived in the building where I worked.
Tuco. I would have to call him Tuco all the time. It would be so hard not to call him Tuco.
And such a great guy. Him and his wife, great. He was in his 80s, 90s when he passed away at 100. So but
what? He was in his 80s and 90s when he passed away at 100.
That was the best.
When I was there,
I wish I could. I need to clip Stick's expression when that hit the brain.
He passed away at 100. The fact is that he passed away. But the fact is that when I knew him, he was already in his 80s, 90s, around there, late 80s. 90s. Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm sorry.
He's a fantastic actor. He was amazing. This of all the, I mean, I love the old Eastwood Westerns. And this by far had the best cast out of all of them.
So basically Boba Fett, Star Wars, Boba Fett, the bounty hunters, like Cad Bane. Cad Bane was actually
all roads lead to Boba.
Off of the bed, from the Good, the Bad, the Ugly. And so Boba Fett was Clint Eastwood. That's what was taken over Clint Eastwood. So that's why I love these flicks, even though they came out before I was born. But it's still, I still watch this when it comes on. You know,
Every time. I do not this and Fistful of Dollars, I do not
Nope.
turn. If it pops on my TV, that TV stays there. I don't care what else anyone
we
wants
used
to
to
watch
like,
in my
I used
house.
to watch Bonanza, freaking Gunsmoke all the time. Me and my dad, you know, back in the day, you know, sit there and watch the old westerns.
Yeah,
So
it's good stuff.
yeah, this movie, I love this movie.
Did this character enlist the help of a gang of kids riding bicycles throughout the?
No, unfortunately, no, it didn't.
Um,
Unfortunate part, yes, they didn't, because it's, you know, it's just really
Colorful bicycles, but bicycles.
bicycles, clowns on bicycles.
It's a great movie. Definitely one of my
Good
favorites.
movie. Yep.
So I love the pick. Make me happy. And
That's a good one. This is a
next
good
on the
one.
list, another fantastic one.
AOA gifted 2 memberships.
Oh, thank you,
Oh,
AOA.
Thank you,
Very good,
thank you,
AOA.
thank
Thanks,
you.
AOA.
The first membership went to Blue Collar Dan, and the second one went to Tiger Fett.
Oh,
Most
thank you very
generous
much,
person.
AOA. You are always helping us out. Love it. So, Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, Sticks.
Yep. So I was told I couldn't have a movie that didn't have sound on it because I am that old.
We were told he couldn't have Charlie Chaplin movies.
Yeah, no Chaplin. You know, nothing with piano music. So so I decided to go with a movie that kind of near to me. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. This is my favorite movie because Dom has said a lot of his movies resonated because of his father. This resonates because of my parents, both of my parents. This was the movie they went to on their first date.
Oh, nice.
So I really like this movie, and you know, the movie's great. Anyway, aside from that, so
It's phenomenal chemistry between Paul Newman and Robert Redford. It's
oh my god,
great.
yeah. But yeah, Western.
I don't believe Styx wasn't born when this movie came out, but other than that, great pick.
Well, I'll leave that to your imagination.
Don't do that.
So, in the vein of westerns, you know, this era, with the western style with Eastwood and these guys here. So it should come to no surprise that this, for us, because we are from that era, and that's the era before, kind of the era before us a little bit, that our parents would resonate to these types of movies because that's what they were growing up on.
Yep.
You know,
yeah, I mean, this era in filmmaking was completely different because you had your like John Huston big epic style westerns and stuff like that early on, and then you had a transition with the Eastwood of the kind of more gritty kind of.
So if they were to remake this movie today, and Dom, I'm not asking for any diatribe about how Butch and Sundance would be female, but anyway, if they were to remake this movie today, do you think they would change the ending? Because, you know, people today they're just so used to happy endings, and spoiler alert, this movie does not have what you call a happy ending.
No, it does not.
Do you think they would change it, or how do you think it would go over today? And we live in a population, I don't know, environment, whatever. I mean, people like happy endings nowadays. I guess we expect them.
For me, it would have to stick to what it is because as of the lore of Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, that's the way their story ends in a big shootout in Mexico. So
yeah,
an unwinnable shootout, right? Yeah, so.
A very unwinnable. I mean, they were outnumbered and outgunned.
They shouldn't be allowed to remake movies that were made in the 70s today. They shouldn't. They should. Movie making was.
Dom's about to start singing down there. You're about to make Dom break out in song. He agrees with you so much. He's like,
but hear me out. Why I say this: filmmaking in the 70s was something completely different. It was an art form that was completely the types of movies they made.
Yeah.
They weren't linear stories. They didn't have clean beginnings and endings. It was a beginning of really more artistic style kind
Right.
of grittier, divergent style of movie making, where you didn't have to have these strict plots and your hero that's clear and always good and a bad guy that's always evil. It's not an era of filmmaking that can be remade. So I hope they don't remake things like this, because they'll never be able to touch the original.
Well, westerns wouldn't play well with kids today anyway, so they wouldn't. I don't think.
Well, I'm not saying
remake them
I mean
anyway.
anything through the 70s. I mean, you're not going to remake Dog Day Afternoon and make it any good. You're not going to remake Taxi Driver and make it any good. You know, those movies.
Taxi Driver, you put a woman in the picking goddamn this guy's spot, and it'll be a different take. That's what they do. And you make the bad guy a woman, a bad woman instead of a bad guy, and put it on.
Yes, women cannot be villains.
Women can be villains, but the fact is that
They're always the villain.
over and over again. That's the trope that's going on now.
Mrs. Sticks, where are you?
Now.
She's sleeping.
The
She's
theme.
sleeping.
All the men.
So I don't.
take away the masculinity of the men and just put women.
What?
Put women.
What?
That's what the
What?
theme is. That's the theme.
How can someone's masculinity be taken away if you have it?
I
I don't
thought we
understand
let
that.
Dom get all this out of his
What?
system, but apparently not. He's
Flip,
still
flip.
got some left.
I mean,
Like I don't think you can't remake First Blood or movies like that. You can't.
too much.
You
blood.
can make sequels and dumb stuff like that, but like the beauty of First Blood was the time that it was made. People understood that type of story. Stuff like that can't be remade now. It doesn't resonate the same way.
hurt somebody's feelings.
So there are certain movies you obviously can remake. I mean, you can remake whatever movie you want, right? But there's certain movies that, like you said, First Blood, where at the time of Vietnam War, that was the idealism of the time and the people, right?
Yeah.
Now they have remade westerns like Django. That's a remake.
Yeah.
There's I think they remade The Dirty Dozen
They did.
a couple of times.
Yeah, it's
The
never.
Magnificent Seven they made.
Not always.
They're
Now they're
always
not
good.
always great. Now these
Yeah, they
remakes
did
aren't
remake the
always great.
Magnificent Seven,
Grit.
but then again, Magnificent Seven was just a basic rehash of Seven
I
Samurai.
like True Grit remake better than the original. Just saying.
Yeah.
True Grit
I mean,
remake.
Joe,
was
is that
good.
you typing the Rennavision or is Pete watching?
No, that was me. That was me.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Stay
Make
out
sure I
the
didn't need to
chat.
alter my behavior.
Now Pete's getting drunk on vacation. He's having fun.
Yeah, they're still trying to fish him out of the tank and smoke him.
So yeah, I said,
I mean-
So remake
thing
this with
is-
two hot lesbians. That's all I'm saying.
If you want to
Take
call
that.
it a remake or not, I
But
mean,
they won't
Thelma
do
and
that,
Louise
yeah.
is kind of this kind of movie.
yeah, yeah, it is.
They don't have it.
I
That's
don't
true,
mind
yeah. I never thought of it, but
re-envisionings.
yeah, that's true.
I don't mind re-envisionings of a basic plot or storyline that mirrors a classic movie. I just don't like remakes. I mean, I saw the Point Break remake. That wasn't good.
That's so-
You
original
didn't need
one was
that one.
great.
That one you didn't need.
No, you didn't need that at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What was the reason for that?
No.
And that's what I'm trying to say.
Because
Words of
Studios
Gary
wanna make
Busey,
money?
young, dumb, and full of cum.
They
They
want to make
money. You're not making money today with
that's
that.
100% true.
You really are. I'll give you a quick story of Paul Newman. My father was a doorman, and Paul Newman was in the garage where my father also worked as a garage attendant later on after he stopped being a doorman. He met Paul Newman, and my mom was a huge Paul Newman fan. And so my father tried calling my mom. And back in the day, they had the answering machines, and the answering machine kept coming up. Mom was there watching soap operas. She freaking didn't even pick up the phone.
Good for her. Good for her.
No,
I can imagine.
opportunity to talk
It's
to
like,
Paul
Mr. Newman, can you stay right here? And your dad has to go find a payphone.
Sorry, I can't come to the phone right now, but if you leave the name and number, I'll get back to you. Say, woo. You get the George Costanza. Believe it or not, I'm not at home. I love that.
Bruce, do you have a movie?
Yes, I have. I will. Actually, The Beast Must Die from 1974, starring John Cushing
Werewolf
and huh?
Werewolf movie.
I never heard of this.
And
It's
Calvin
a movie
Lockhart, 8 people get invited to a dinner on a deserted island, pretty much. No way off. They're trying to find out who is the werewolf. A lot of killing, it's a great movie. I love werewolf movies.
Oh.
Love horror
When did
movies
this
in
come out?
general.
How long did this?
1974.
What?
24.
You weren't born in 1974. You weren't born in the 70s. Holy
I was born in 75.
dude, you're not part of this
Those-
panel
yeah.
then because you're too old. You're too young.
He can still watch Star Wars.
People,
Tom.
old
He's
people's up in the goddamn town.
clear.
Yeah, he has the Star Wars pass.
What are you talking
It's
about?
fine.
Me and Joe are the same age.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Joe
I'm the
goes-
only one that's 120.
What
we're
happened?
both young bucks in our late 40s.
We don't know how old Styx is. They really didn't keep good records back then. We
No,
really
Sticks
don't
is
know how old he is.
Benjamin Button.
See, you got to take a core sample and carbon date sticks.
If
Listen.
you love good werewolf movies, this is a good movie to watch. It's
I've
no
never-
howling,
never
but it's
seen this,
really
so
good.
I
Really
wanna
good.
see it.
either.
It's kind
I've
of a
never heard
take
of
on
it, so.
Island of Dr. Moreau, really.
Yep.
So,
What the hell? Who's in this movie?
Well, it has to be better than the
Peter
Val Kilmer.
Cushion,
Peter Cushing.
Oh, Peter
Calvin
Peter Cushing.
Lockhart,
Okay.
and the rest of them, I have no idea.
Wait a minute, Peter Cushing. That's Grandma talking.
Yeah, we're talking. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, it's target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's fucking Tarkin.
Yeah.
Nice. I'll watch this.
And then they redid this movie. They used the same plot in a Howling. I forgot which one it was.
Was it the movie The Chef? Was it the movie about a chef that they're stuck in the island? They getting up the island. It just came out. Something. It was just a movie they just did. Something about like the chef was killing people.
Oh, on dinner or something like that.
Yeah,
the
something
menu.
The menu. The menu.
Yeah.
The menu.
That was actually an interesting movie.
Yeah, it was.
It was a little weird, but interesting.
Everybody should watch this and review it next week.
We'll watch it. Well, I gotta see that. Oh yeah, by
I've
the way,
seen it.
We're
Six.
gonna fan cast it on Monday.
You have the shroud. You have the shroud of Jesus.
No,
thing with
I'm
his
trying to get Josh to come back.
The Shroud
All
of Turin.
right.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
I roll back the big stone every once in a while.
Let me
There you
see,
go.
do I have it on
Oh,
streaming
listen,
anymore?
you had the 10 Commandments. You sold them to Moses.
What?
No.
All righty,
Oh.
let's get into some good old golden age Christmas covers. So
I know
we
there's no werewolf.
we asked the guys to come up with 3 golden age covers, Christmas covers that they liked. And again, next week we will start doing the Silver Age, and then we will move forward until Bronze and Modern. So first up are my picks. I love all Fawcett, the old Fawcett Captain Marvel stuff. So I think that's just a cool, sharp, old school Christmas cover. Also a huge Nancy and Sluggo fan and Ernie Bushmiller fan. So I will take a hilarious Nancy and Sluggo cover any day of the week.
Well, listen,
'Cause
you look like Spacey Sprockets.
Well,
Spacey Jeffersons? The Jeffersons. The Jetsons.
Jeffersons.
Jefferson.
The Jeffersons.
Quiet,
And,
Weezy.
and if you haven't looked at, if you haven't seen, Tip Top Comics, I mean, there's the Nancy stuff, but the old Tip Top stuff, you can get some of the oldest Peanuts stuff in Tip Top as well.
Wait, the old Tip Top penis? What?
Peanut.
What are you talking about? Oh my God.
Charles Schultz. Peanuts.
Can't take
the
you
tip of the
anywhere.
No,
Just the tip of the
I'm a mess. And while the last one isn't necessarily a Christmas cover, the innuendo of Patsy Walker getting ready to get tag teamed is pretty hilarious to me. So I find that kind of amusing, and I love all the old Patsy Walker covers as well. So
She won't be cold for long.
nope.
Nothing says Christmas like a menage a trois.
Yo, listen,
There you
you'll
go.
definitely be getting that pearl necklace for Christmas. I can tell
The
you that.
gift that keeps on giving.
Jeez.
So those are mine. Next up,
Okay.
Damn
These are mine.
Damn you,
And
Jedi.
Yeah.
Well, as usual, I turn in my homework on time, and then other people try to copy it. So,
Wow.
You didn't even know about this. cover
truthfully
until you
though,
actually saw it.
there's if you Google like Golden Age comic covers, you get a finite amount, so some overlap is bound to happen. So that's why I try to get mine in earlier, so I can lay dibs on some of these. The Vault of Horror, obviously, it's a horror flick or horror comic. The cover. I don't know. The lady is probably mad because her husband got her a barbecue for Christmas and he's had enough.
It's a coffin.
So,
It's a casket.
It's a casket.
It's a
See?
casket.
is that a casket? I thought it was a barbecue.
Barbecue.
At first, I thought it was an iron lung when I
You don't
saw
know
it.
the goddamn cover. You cover it. You get each
I
other.
thought it was a barbecue. At first I thought it was a casket, and then I'm like, shit, dude, that looks like a barbecue.
I think it's
So,
funnier
yeah.
if it was a barbecue.
I didn't ask for that Traeger grill for Christmas.
And he's
Yeah.
You
about
bought
to,
yourself a gift.
he's about to hit her with what looks like a spear or knife. I don't know. So she's about to bite it regardless. So
Telling her charcoal's better than propane.
yeah. It's like,
Oh,
and then
like
the next cover to me is quite creepy, to be honest with
They're
you.
stealing the gifts.
You have the Wonder Woman and I guess what would be the Justice League or Justice League like
Justice Society.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, you got the
Justice
JSA.
Society. They were putting gifts under the tree.
I say steal the gifts.
Perhaps they're stealing the gifts. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Regardless, they've broken into this little boy's room while he's sleeping.
He's that
Why
cold.
does he have a Christmas tree in his room?
And why
I
is
don't
he
know.
not
It's
cold?
just creepy as fuck, to be
Yo,
honest
that
with you.
window. Listen,
I don't. He can't afford to paint his
That's
room
Tom's
though.
brother. That's Tom's brother. You buy
Tom's
trees.
brother's got a Christmas tree in every room.
Yeah, you
And
can tell that's public housing. Look at the walls.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you would think Flash would just do this solo.
Oh yeah, he's
do
probably
this
an
job a lot
orphan. You're
faster.
right, Brucefer. He's probably an orphan. That's nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Brucefer is very cognizant of what's going on.
He's just trying to make it nicer.
Yeah.
What they don't tell
probably
you-
an orphan.
What they
Still
don't tell you
creepy.
is
And Alan Scott's just standing back there, just giving him a creepy stare.
He's got a I'm up to no good look on his face. Yeah. And then we got Bugs Bunny's Christmas Funny. I said this, I can't remember if it was last week or week before. I grew up watching Looney Tunes, love Bugs Bunny, love all those characters for the most part. I think
Can't make Looney Tunes now.
Bugs Bunny's just
well, you can, but won't be the same.
he's untouchable. Bugs Bunny is just on top of his game all the time. So it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So that's all I got.
Step ahead.
Good holiday covers. Next up.
Boo.
This is
All
just
right.
Dixie.
So I picked a few here. So I picked a good classic in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Nothing says Christmas like Santa Claus riding a rocket ship with Rudolph on the front of it.
That's illegal in most states.
Only Tennessee. Next, I picked this one. I thought it was kind of funny. The Smokehouse Monthly. If you can read the bottom, the guy yelling at the Santa Claus, he says, "You're supposed to fill my stockings, not my shoes," because he thinks he's trying to steal his wife.
Little
Little innuendo there.
Whiz bang
double
humor.
entendre.
That's why it's Smokehouse whiz bang humor. Whiz
Yep.
bang. It's good stuff.
And then I used to like this cartoon.
I love Shmoo.
Growing up.
I love Shmoo.
Shmoo is great, and I always look out for. I want to own a Shmoo comic at one point. This is something I strive for. But Al Cap's Shmoo here was Shmoo as the pulling Santa sleigh for Christmas. Shmoo is great. I mean, it's a good classic cartoon comic. Yeah,
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I'm not gonna say any more about it. It's something I like. So.
I like Shmoo as well. Good covers.
Sticks is Santa Claus. He's about to let his beard grow. He's ageless, timeless.
Mr.
Yeah, I got him
Domtober.
off the rack. Yeah,
Yes.
I got him off the rack.
All right, so these are my picks, and I picked these covers due to the fact that there's the brilliant colors on them, which you get the bright yellows, the blue, the red. The color on these old books
Oh, it's
stick
amazing.
out better than any color in any books. I can honestly say that. When no matter the grade, if you get like a 5.5, a good cover, the
Yeah, they
covers
pop.
stand out. They pop, and they, for some reason, the ink or whatever they use, the quality of paper that they used back then is so much better than what
The
they
leaded paint.
use. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably, you know.
I
But,
don't care.
yeah,
Made pretty colors.
Yeah. Freaking pops.
You know,
That's-
so I picked this Batman cover because I love seeing Robin get the bulk of carrying everything, and just Batman just walking by, not doing anything, saying, "All right, boy wonder, let's see how wonderful you are. Hold that damn
What?
bag.
What?
Hold my sack. Yeah, say
Yeah.
like, hold my
I
sack."
knew that
My
was coming.
sack.
Yeah.
Robin's used to holding Batman's sack, so why
Yeah,
not?
right? He's holding Santa's sack. What do you want? So,
Yeah.
like I said,
Yeah,
the
Batman.
colors on that, the blue, the red, the yellow, and the little
And a
green
sack is
changes,
full of goodness.
really
Golden Age yellow covers are always great.
always
Yeah.
awesome, because Batman and
Yeah.
Superman had all those yellow colors back in the day on the covers, which made
Yeah.
it good.
Yeah.
And then the Walt Disney comics, you know, they definitely they stood out.
It's
Old-
ironic you choose Disney
Yeah,
comics.
I know, but I do like old Walt Disney stuff. You know, as much as I don't like the stuff now, I like the stuff back then. That it was great back then. But
Uh,
especially
Hey,
Donald Duck, you know, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. You
Yep.
know, just like I said, the colors on those books really popped out as well too, and I like the fact that you know, just it took a lot of time on these books. You know, and these books, even though they're 10 cents, there was just so much put into these books compared to now. Like, better than the Liefelds of the world that actually draw the books today and stuff like that. And just, I don't know, it just,
I don't know. Liefeld kind of draws feet like that, so he could.
yeah, but this is the original. But
the original life of
if I can go
That
back
was
in
fun.
time and snatch books, I definitely snatch these books. You know, and
Yeah,
get these
I mean,
books up.
If people saw the page rate that these artists
Yeah.
put out back then, drawing everything by hand,
And with that cigarette hanging out of their mouth
Yeah.
and they're drawing stuff.
it was crazy.
You know, Kathleen Kennedy follows Dom, so she's like, "Oh, you like Daffy Duck, or not that? You like Donald Duck, huh? All right, all right."
yeah,
Then just swap Donald Duck, make it
Okay.
Denise Duck.
Isn't that Daisy?
Daisy? Yeah, Davy Duck. Yeah, but not.
Which one
I
is
like these
Daisy?
covers and that because I like the covers more because of the color pop on the covers
yeah,
than anything else.
Yeah, red and yellow really. Yeah, those are good
they
colors.
do look sharp. And then last on our list here, we got Bruce's picks.
We got some Captain Marvel Jr. with Santa Marvel.
I almost
I
picked
lo-
that cover actually.
I love Captain Marvel Jr. comics. The covers are so great from back then.
I love WoW.
The-
WoW and Mary Marvel stuff is
His tight spandex Santa suit.
Huh.
I guess
Yeah.
that's, I don't know.
With
I
no
don't know, maybe it's his
bulge.
regular suit. I don't know.
No
Exactly.
bulge. Ugh.
He's-
Comic.
He's gonna-
Yeah.
You should go get checked
Cavalcade.
for Cushings with that,
Well, I
that
like
body
that
type.
comic Cavalcade cover. You know why? Santa's smiling. Green Lantern has his hand out, and Flash is right there saying, "Get ready to suck his balls," because he's sitting right there.
What
He's like-
the
he's
hell?
smiling.
Listen, stop turning innocent comic covers into your twisted fantasy.
We're just gonna make weird Alan Scott
Jeez.
innuendos all night based on where he's placed.
Sounds
on
like
comic
here
covers.
comes the money shot.
There you go. That's why.
Uh,
Why do you think Wonder Woman's sitting right there? Come on. Look, he's
Uh,
smiling. He's laughing. He's
now we
ready.
know how Dom got all his gifts.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Negative.
You know, Justice Society on any cover is great for the holidays. And then we got Captain Marvel after Santa lost his sleigh. Because who knows?
He
He
gets
was
the-
drunk.
He's
He was
riding
drunk in that cover.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
Oh, baby. Yo,
People
it's
love holiday
Rob-
covers.
no, it's like the Incredible. It's Saturday Night Live, the duo.
Oh, the yeah.
Mary-
Ambiguously gay. Was it ambiguously?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah. I
Yeah,
didn't
got
know. I couldn't
Mary
remember if the
Marvel.
word gay was in there or not. Okay.
Mary Marvel on the cover. Everybody loves Mary Marvel.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Great
that's a good
covers.
cover.
And she's underneath his sack too, so that's another thing too.
Stop. Don't drag Mary into this, all right? She's a good, wholesome Christian girl.
Sure.
I love Mary.
They
Marvel.
all-
She's only 12 there. She's only 12 there. now.
She's dumb.
There's
It's
some
not that kind of
amazing,
show.
amazing Golden Age Mary Marvel covers that are
Yeah.
fantastic. All righty, boys. Thank you for your Christmas covers.
You got it.
Ooh, aha.
Now we can get into some
wrong eye.
Mr. Adam Hughes. So I wanted to do a bit of an artist spotlight, looking at a bunch of pretty covers of Adam Hughes. And if boys want to show off any of their Hughes stuff, they are free to do so as well. So Adam Hughes, in case you didn't know, he was born in '67, but he's been working since he was 20 in the industry, which is pretty impressive. He's not classically trained or anything like that. Basically developed his own style. And my God, does the man have a lot of covers out there. I didn't realize when starting this. I was like, well, I'll do a handful of slides, show some of the best covers. And then a lot of slides later, I was like, well, I had to edit out a lot of what I wanted to put in here. So there's a lot of good stuff in here. So we're going to start with some of the earliest stuff and then kind of work our way forward. So this first part isn't a cover. It's a interior art kind of centerfold from Eagle 6. That was in '87. That is his first published artwork. Then he moved and started to do Maze Agency on Comico. And he did a bunch of the Maze Agency covers coming through. And a lot of people see these in cheap bins and stuff like that, not realizing that it's Adam Hughes. In a lot of these cases, some of these older covers, he actually signs it as Hughes, not with the AH. And stuff like that. And the style is very different. So as we move through, you'll kind of see as his style kind of changes and refines and kind of gets to what you kind of know him as today from his artwork. He did this innovation title, Stargrazers, is one of my favorite early Hughes stuff. The covers are fantastic. It's innovation, so the books are normally beat to all hell.
Great series.
If you do find them, but it is a fun series with Hughes, and you get to sample some of the cheekiness of his art. Maze Agency was not so spicy in any way. They kind of let him go a little loose with Stargrazers, and had some really great covers. The spanking cover is probably one of my favorites there of his, but they're all pretty good. You can still find them really cheap out there. A lot of times you'll find them in the wild and people don't even realize they're Hughes covers. So it's something to look for out there. He had a nice run of Justice League America covers. Again, his style starts to kind of refine a little more when he starts to get into the Justice League stuff and he's working for, a major publisher. You can tell the inking and things like that changed and things get a little more detailed on there. But his Justice League stuff was absolutely phenomenal. It was a fun run of stuff. And that was the nice thing about Hughes too. They gave him nice runs with series. There's just unbelievably collectible series of runs on certain titles that he had. Like nowadays, you don't get it anymore. Now you'll get, this artist might have 3 covers on this title, and then they're doing something else, or they're on 70 other books. You got nice runs with some of these artists back then, where you can catch a run of a handful of 10 or 20 books or so of just amazing titles by Hughes. So a lot of people don't know he actually did a handful of Star Trek books. So yeah, these are kind of some of the creeper Hughes art. Like if you're like really into collecting Hughes stuff and you want some of the stuff that people don't know about,
Well, the Star Trek books are pretty cool.
yeah, I mean, again, it's still some of his earlier stuff, but it's just kind of a fun pickup to go. Yeah, you know what? This is
Yeah, I mean,
this is
he
Adam
made a
Hughes.
horror look really sexy there. Damn.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Man.
God. You turned on by the slightest thing. Jeez.
Yeah.
Look, God, movies to cover that. Justice Broads.
He did a bunch of these spoof comics where they were all basically just spoof covers of existing kind of characters in Marvel or DC and stuff like that. So he did a handful of these covers. There's probably 6 to 8 of these that are out
You
there.
have them all, Joe?
I have most of them. Yeah, I have.
Of course he does.
I have about 6 of them, and I think about 3 or 4 are signed. But yeah, this is you can kind of start to see his style change a little bit as well here too. They kind of let him go wild on these, which I kind of enjoy. And he had an amazing run on the when Classic X-Men became X-Men Classic. You got a good run of Hughes covers that are in there.
Damn, he made Storm look friggin' even hotter than the. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, it's a great storm. That's a great Dark Phoenix. But yeah, these again, a lot of these. I mean, people have known about them for years. They know they're out there, but sometimes some of this stuff just gets slipped in boxes with other stuff that's X-Men Classic. You can find cheap. I mean, truthfully, these aren't overly expensive books to begin with, but you can find these out there if you're a Hughes collector. There's some nice covers to have as well, and if you like X books, they're retelling the classic tales as well. He starts to get good and cheeky. I like the Legionnaires. Some of these covers are fantastic that he did for this.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he's done a lot of work at DC, but they've given him chances to have nice runs on books where you can, like I said, find a good run. A lot of times online too, on eBay, you'll be able to find a lot of, a Legionnaires run, this to this. And sometimes people just don't care or forget anymore that there's a chunk of Hughes books in there. Just like buying Animal Man, and you're like, oh, there's Brian Bolland covers there that are great. And you could find some of that cheap sometimes thrown in there. But there's definitely some winners in there of this. And then he starts to kind of develop a style. He has a handful of just kind of good random covers. The Lady Rawhides that he does for Zorro for Topps Comics.
Yep, Lady Rawhide was good.
Are great. He did a Savage Dragon cover. There's the Detectives book as well. This was a one-off. This might have been George Perez's Sirens, I believe this is. So he did a cover for that as well. So again, his style was starting to develop a bit, and he was getting to be known a little more for the top style Lady Rawhide than some of the older kind of DC stuff that he did.
Oh, I have that Ghost book.
He had some good Ghost covers. They were great. I love this New Mutants cover as well. This Sally Forth is still, it's probably one of my favorite Hughes covers. It's just good stuff.
I think I just won that Ghost book on a giveaway. We'll find out in a week, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good Hughes book, and every time
Ford has some guns.
Every time I go back, to my parents' place, and there's a little honey hole that I go to there with a bunch of dollar bins. There's always copies of Ghost in there, and every now and then you'll find a couple of the Hughes covers that are in there as well. So keep looking. Also, Sensational She-Hulk. He had that nice cover on that John Byrne run. I actually have that back here somewhere, sitting there poking out. Great book.
There you go.
You got your Vampirella. That Lady Rawhide cover is still one of my favorite Hughes covers too.
I had
it's
that.
just
And my
I
brother,
have it.
the
I have it.
Vampirella,
I don't know if I pulled that out from my pile or not, but
I had that Vampirella and She,
yeah.
or Shy.
Yeah, he like I said, he has a few of those, a few of these fun little Vampirella covers. This last one here, it's actually a cover he did with Dave Stevens. I believe he did the reflection. Dave Stevens did the other part, so it's kind of a fun little team up there.
That's cool.
And hands down, my 100% top Hughes book I love, and I've been trying to get this for a while. I just haven't been willing to shell out the money for it. At Dirty Pair is such a great Hughes cover.
Yep.
You know, it's one could say it's an homage to the Dave Stevens Planet Comics, but my God, is it a great freaking cover. It's definitely tip top for Hughes. He did this Voodoo series for Image. There's some really cool covers here too. He has a lot of influence from there's artists that did a lot of this kind of like Nouveau French art that he always kind of admired as an influence, and you can kind of see that coming out in these Voodoo books. They're pretty nice, and again, like a lot of this stuff you can still find kind of cheap out there here and there, especially in a market like it is now. And you got a nice Wildcats and X-Men cover as well. If you're a Tomb Raider fan, there's plenty of Hughes Tomb Raider out there. Some of those books can get a bit pricey, but there's definitely some good Tomb Raider out there. Did Liberty Metas. Yeah, if you're a Liberty's Met, I'm a big Liberty Metas fan. I love Frank Cho, but Hughes did a cover for that as well. There's just weird stuff that you'll find every now. It's just these weird covers like the Scion. Like I have no clue what this book is about at all, but it's just one of those weird. It's a weird Hughes cover out there, and it's something that again sometimes people dump stuff like that in dollar bins, and said if you're a Hughes collector, it's a nice thing to have. And then there's the good runs that he has that are just legendary. His Wonder Woman run is absolutely phenomenal. I wish he would have stuck with it a little bit longer, but
I like that last Wonder Woman, number 184. That's actually a pretty badass Wonder Woman.
Yep. And I got it right here. I'll be showing that one a little bit later. But yeah, all of his Wonder Woman covers are fantastic. Wonder Woman's had great runs of great artists. The Dotson runs of the Terry Dotson covers were great of Wonder Woman as well. But yeah, there's tons of winners in this Wonder Woman run. And some you could still find pretty cheap. The 184 gets a little pricey at times, not horribly outrageously pricey, but you can find it raw pretty reasonable, but graded tends to be a little pricey at times. I had to throw in more Tomb Raider because he just has such good Tomb Raider covers. He did covers for Rose and Thorn for DC, and there's some fun covers in that series that he did that are quite enjoyable. If you like the spicier side of Hughes. And of course, besides I guess the Satana, this Catwoman run is probably the best cover run by an artist that I can think of just every damn cover he put out for this series basically just hit it out of the park. There's so many winners all through this Catwoman series of his covers. And for some reason you can still get them reasonably. I don't understand or why these are still as reasonable as they are. You can still find these out in the wild raw, $5-10 here and there. But they're all just amazing, great covers. He's done some great Star Wars stuff as well. Most people are familiar with the Star Wars Legacy stuff that he did. He has a great Leia cover on that Rebel Heist series. And
Boba Fett.
I had to throw that in for you, Dom.
I have that. I have that cover 9/8. Beautiful cover. Love it.
Yeah,
it did get pricey once in a while. So it fluctuates, that book.
Yeah.
At a price.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't do much Star Wars anymore, but I enjoy when he does it. He kind of adds a little bit of a different flair to Star Wars. It's always
I
nice
like
to
how
see
he
what
does Doctor Darth Talon. Oof, love those.
Yeah. That Star Wars Legacy book was always any of the prints of it was always a fun book to have in the personal collection.
That book is such a beautiful book. That
it is
Boba Fett book, and
it is really sharp. It's like I said. I mean, everyone thinks he just does a lot of women and stuff like that, but he has some sharp
the number
covers.
one Boba Fett cover. It's got to be there. The top 5 Boba Fett covers, but that one that stick out. I love that cover.
Yeah, it's a really cool one. We got some Baroness. So for all you G.I. Joe fans, if you want to go out and grab some Hughes, everyone loves Baroness.
Yep.
You can never go wrong. You can never go wrong with Power Girl. Yeah, you can never go wrong with Power Girl. That Batwoman cover is just a phenomenal cover of his. And that Hero Comics. That's just all I can say is that's just a good, sexy cover.
There's a model. The girl that there's a cosplayer that does Baroness, and I think he might have got some of the influence from.
I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of these people use figure reference.
Yep.
Of course, you got your Zatannas across the board. That Zatanna run is fantastic. I love the way he draws Zatanna. And I mean, I collect Zatanna all around, but the Hughes covers are definitely some of the best, and some of the few that have, actually retained a good bit of value. One of my favorite series, because he did basically all the covers for it, was Fairest. He has some of the best cover work in there, and these are insanely dirt cheap. You can pick up a lot for $2 a book in some cases, for most of the covers, but every cover is just a complete, I hate to say the word, but they're all bangers. If you love his pinup style work and stuff like that, that series just has the best covers. That Dr. Manhattan series he did as well, for that Before Watchmen. He did the covers for that run of that Dr. Manhattan. Those were really cool. There's the Batgirl, and it's multiple prints, which is always a chased after book as well. It's one of those wall books that's always an eye catcher. I love his Betty and Veronica series that he did, because he wrote the Betty and Veronica, or the Life with Archie, the Betty and Veronica series as well. There's some really good fun. I mean, I collect a lot of Archie anyway, but to see Hughes do Betty and Veronica, I just dig it. It's always great. His barbed wire covers are also just absolutely top notch. Far better than the Pam Anderson movie, Barbed Wire. And don't want to leave out Marvel. He has some great Black Cat and some great Gwen covers that float around as well.
I actually have that Spider-Gwen signed in a 9/8.
Oh, nice.
And the A-Force I won a couple of months ago.
I love that A-Force book. That's a great one. I have several copies and variations of this amazing Spider-Man one with the cell phone with Black Cat. This X-Men Avengers one is a nice book as well. That one always kind of goes under the radar. I always forget about that one. and I had to throw in some Cap for AOA. But his Black Cat covers are fantastic. He did a handful of covers on the relatively recent Black Widow series that was out there as well, which I guarantee you could probably still find those for a couple bucks each out there, but they're fantastic covers. Same with the Invisible Woman. There was it was a short run series. He did some phenomenal covers on that I don't understand why more people aren't grabbing those and picking those up, because they're really great covers.
I have the Black Widow one where it's kind of a white background and like blood on her back.
Oh yeah. He has some cool ones. I love the Negative Space Electra, black, white, and blood cover. It's definitely a great cover, and that one's only a couple of years old, but you can still find that one out there. You got the Black Cat and Mary Jane. I don't know. I like an artist that can bring humor into his covers. Now, there's people that can do pinup stuff, and it's just like they can do a sexy cover, but that's what they can do. But Hughes always can bring kind of the humor and emotion into it as well, which I always think is fun. This Rocketeer here is the one from the Dave Stevens Kickstarter. This is actually the first Rocketeer art by Adam Hughes. I was amazed when I heard that originally, when I got the book, that he had never done Rocketeer before for a cover until the Dave Stevens Kickstarter. So it's a winner. And then this is the most recent Rocketeer series that came out. He did a nice cover on there as well. So if you're a Rocketeer fan like I am, or you love Dave Stevens, or like me, you just love Betty Page, those are a couple good covers to pick up.
Nice.
And I had thrown some Harley, just a page of Harley. The Harley, Ivy, Betty, and Veronica series, also a lot of fun. It did some covers on that. I like those fun crossovers that should make no sense whatsoever, because you can read it knowing that it's just going to be ridiculous and hilarious. So, and again, eye candy that you'll see on the wall there, that Harley one, Hughes. It's always a big book out there. And we'll end it on some Supergirl and Power Girl. That Supergirl and Legion of Superheroes cover is still, I can't believe that book just stays as pricey as it always does. But that seems to be the book out there that always, it seems to be bulletproof quite often. It might go up and down a little bit here and there, but I've never seen that book collapse in price. It always seems to be sought after. So, Hughes.
Yay, Hughes.
Anybody have any books they want to show?
Sure.
I got one.
I'm going to show a few real fast. I'll throw it around here. Okay, so let's get a couple slabs. So there's your 184.
I like them.
Yeah, it's a really cool cover. I mean,
I like the old,
yeah.
the new, the art style. That's really cool.
It was a really cool book. I was always happy with that. And then there's your Zatanna 15. Nice fun book. Like I said, these Fairest covers that he does are just phenomenal. Got a little barbed wire ash can. Let's see, we got this is a recent Kickstarter, Trigger Girl 6. I'll only show part of this book.
Cover the nips. I know that's the drop kill, the pop kill.
Yeah, Yeah,
It
this
looks like
this is the
Jennifer
busty one.
Lawrence. It looks like Jennifer
Yeah.
Lawrence in the cover.
Yeah, this is the one where it's not a wet T-shirt. It's full boobage.
A booby
Um,
cover.
Also, one of my favorite covers. This Justice League of America cover is
cool.
this great cover.
He has that certain style with the faces, draw the girl's faces and wait.
Yeah, there's something old and new about it that I love. I hear some of the spoof comic ones is just signed.
Sweet baby.
Some of his old stuff. Again, my favorite Star Graver Grazers. I love these covers. They're all phenomenal. And I guess last but not least, there's your Maze Agency signed.
There you go.
I got a bunch of stuff signed. I didn't get things signed, and I always wonder, like I said, with him, it's easy for somebody, I would think, to make an AH with an exclamation point.
Yeah.
I'm going to trust that what I have are his signatures. I didn't pay for them signed. I bought a lot of stuff, and a handful of those books were in there. And I'm going through them, and I'm just rebagging them and boarding them. And I'm looking at them and going like, those are signed. Why is AH on this book twice? And I realized, oh, these are all signed. These are all signed.
That's cool.
So hopefully they're his actual signature, but that's on a lot of his older books. So I kind of enjoy that as well. Those
I
will
got
stay
one
in the
book.
PC.
I got one.
Okay, let me get you. All right.
Okay, so there's the Fed
There you go. Nice.
Yeah.
That's a winner. That's a beautiful book.
I really like it. It's such a great book in person too.
Yeah, it's sharp. The way he does with the light and everything, it's
The colors
it's
on the
definitely a
top.
cool cover.
It's like
Yeah.
a sand dusted, like it's like Tatooine, like the
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
That's it.
Anybody else?
Sticks?
Not for me.
I'll go. I might have a few laying around. The ones I could find.
Of course you do. You got the Zentana run and you got all the other ones.
What?
I have the Santana run. I wasn't gonna miss out on that.
I have a newsstand. Batgirl #1 signed 9/4.
Nice.
That looks nice. Actually, it
These
looks
are-
nice graded, man. It really does. I like that.
It's so hard to get these newsstands in a high grade. I was so lucky I pressed this several times.
Huh.
I did.
I
Took
did,
like
I
five
did,
press-
I told you.
5 pressings to get this thing like that high.
What was it? Like, what was it? A 5?
No, it was a raw comic I got off of well, I got this off of Whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a lot of fixable defects, but not enough to give me a 9.6 or it's a 9.8 to fix them. I have Zatanna #16 signed by Adam Hughes. 9.4.
Nice.
I think they screwed me on this.
Why?
You gonna crack it? You gonna crack it or spin it,
I can't
and then lose the signature?
lose the. It will come back a green label.
Yeah.
Legionnaires
CBCS it.
Legionnaires #16 DCU variant
Nice.
signed 9.6.
Nice.
A Supergirl and Legion of Superheroes #23 signed 9.6.
One thing I do love about his, that's so great.
But
The one
it's
thing
it's the Italian version.
It's
so
Italian,
I love it.
but
I
still,
love it, though.
the art on
Still
that is
nice.
great. It looks great in a slab.
It does.
Looks better than the foil.
The one thing I love about his signature is like there's no like this is a scribble. I wonder who signed this or what. It's always clear. Okay, it's Adam Hughes. That's always nice. Some of those artist signatures are a shit show.
9. I got a 9.8 in Catwoman #70.
I do like that book a lot.
I do love this cover. And one of the most sought after covers for Adam Hughes. There aren't that many on the census. I think there's about 8 signed and a 9/8 by Teen Titan 75.
Nice. That is
Nice.
a classic cover.
I love that Starfire cover. Those
And I
titties
got
make
this
it
from
flip up.
I got this from a guy on Discord. It was a 9/2 when I bought it from him, and I pressed it up to a 9/8.
Nice. Nice.
I might have that. I might
You
have
know
that cover.
I got my 9.6 Boba Fett's. I'm going to send it to you. I want you to crack it, and I want you to see me get the.
A what?
My Boba Fett's.
What is
The
it?
newsstand. Well, the newsstand has a little color rub on top. I don't know if you can get the color rub out. Can you get that out?
No, you can't get color rub out,
But
unfortunately.
the okay, this I guess the 9.6 direct edition. You can try to press that out.
It has color rub, you said?
No, the newsstand one does. It has like a little red mark on the top, but I'm not sure if that's the reason why I got a 9.6.
It's weird. I mean, sometimes if it's a printing defect that can be replicated across, you could try to point that out to them that that's not an
Yeah.
individual book
Well,
defect.
I bought the book. I bought it on. I got it on eBay a long time ago, like maybe $250. The newsstand 9.6, and it doesn't. The book looks fantastic. It's just a little mark on top. I don't know if that's.
Yeah. When was that? When was it graded? You know, a year?
Let me see if I find. Where the hell did I put my?
What year was signed? Actually, why are you doing that? I wanted to show off. We were talking about steampunk books earlier.
Let me
Yeah,
see if I
From
can find it.
DC. I have Batman
Oh, nice.
28. And
Nice.
it's signed by Fredos, Guillen, Snyder, James Tinian.
Oh, nice. That's a nice combo 6 on that.
Yep.
I've been buying far less slabs lately, just because I just don't know where to put them.
I got
Like,
what?
short boxes, you can stack short box. They make sense to me, but
Why don't you just get
slabs,
slab boxes?
they don't fit appropriatly. I have OCD issues.
Have you
So
tried
it's like
the
comic
BCW
short
book?
box is good.
Well, while we're waiting on Dom, we'll go. Let's
Hey,
knock
Nico.
out this comic review. We're almost at 2.5 hours.
Oh yeah, sorry. No. Losing track of time here. Yeah, let's get to the comic review. Boop.
Not that it's going to blow anyone's socks off, but
No. That's let me give you your due there with your title banner, and you can pull up your stuff and run that beautiful bean footage.
well, I'm trying. It doesn't want to. There we go. Finally,
There we go.
There we go. All right. So, in staying with the theme, I guess, or the sub theme, not the Hughes theme, but the Golden Age Christmas theme, I decided to try and find a short story from a golden age that related to Christmas, I guess. So, whoops. So yeah, we're doing a rewind this time again because we've been having
I like
some of
rewinds.
these things. From 1952. Brace yourself. You ready? So because so many of us, so I'm gonna go in honor of the first 5 minutes of every Monday Madness show on Brucifer's channel, we're going to end up talking about sticking something up somebody's ass at some point during the first 5 minutes of the show. I'm going with
It was one show.
No, it's actually more than one show, Brucifer. More than one show. It's at least 2. We're going to go with Two-Fisted Tales this week. So it's actually a story. It's a Vietnam story. It's actually 4 short stories in here. We're gonna focus on the last one. The other 3 being The Trap, Hagaruri. I know I'm butchering these things. Hagaruri, Link Up, and then Hungnam is a story that we're going to focus on. So I'm gonna end up reading most of this. There are no word bubbles of dialogue. It's all just narrated for the most part. So bear with me, but I think I need to try and read it. December 20th, 1950, the grand evacuation was winding up. All the UN troops now inside the protected beachhead perimeter. They brought their wounded with them and what equipment they had brought. They had destroyed. Now the perimeter was shrunk to that of a tiny bit of land we held in North Korea. So I assume some of this is at least based on true stories, I would think, but it sure sounds like it. Hungnam, North Korea's biggest port of the sea of Japan. Hungnam was now a gut and a bedlam of lumbering war machines and war material. And the roads, ribbons of mud churned, scarred by wheels of countless vehicles and long lines of men, all converging on the docks. There were all
Sounds
kinds
like New
of
York
men.
City and
Sounds like New York City.
What?
Well, there were all kinds of men: American Marines, British Marines. There were South Koreans of the First Corps, ROKs as they were called, which I served I served one tour in Korea. So ROKs, those that don't know, it's Republic of Korea Soldier, I believe is what that stands for. They were army of men in the 7th Division and men who of the 3rd Division who with a regiment of Puerto Rican troops were holding the perimeter. United Nations troops all slogging into the escape port of Hungnam, and as the soldiers know, wherever soldiers go marching, some pooch seems to tag along and take this pooch here. He's an old dog. He isn't a puppy. He's just a pooch. He doesn't know a Korean from an American. He doesn't know a single thing about politics. All he knows is he's supposed to be man's best friend. And so he goes trotting back and forth from one group of men to the next, from the marching men to the men of the big 155 millimeter guns. He only doesn't know that it's a 150 millimeter gun that's part of the half moon of guns around the port of Hungnam. Poor innocent pooch. Whoop, I guess one of those guns fires and scares him. So he goes skittering away from the powerful sound, running into the city. He passes acres of gasoline-filled drums. Then he pauses for a moment to scratch a flea. A helmeted soldier runs up and picks him up. Our pooch thinks the soldier wants to play. Poor innocent pooch. He doesn't know the soldiers are about to destroy the gasoline that can't be evacuated in time. Vroom! They blow it up. A huge fireball slowly rises in the sky, and our frightened pooch struggles out of the soldier's arms. He runs away from the noise, away from the explosions, towards the dock area, towards the sound of voices, 1,000 voices coming from the ocean side of the city. He's now in the middle of the biggest confusion imaginable. Thousands of people running in each and every direction. A forest of people, the population of Hungnam refugees, moving to the docks, waiting to be led onto evacuation ships into the harbor. Poor innocent pooch. He looks for a kind glance, a sympathetic face, but nobody even notices him. He searches for a familiar smell, sniffs at the passing trouser legs. Nobody stops. Nobody seems to want him, and as it's bound to happen, someone steps on his paw.
Aww.
He limps away as fast as he can, and he now sees a pack of his own kind, a gang of dogs yapping about the feet of soldiers who are throwing food to them. And what food can be from a huge pile of food that will have to be destroyed on the docks. Our pooch feels his belly, curls up into a pile of rope, yawns, and slowly shuts his eyes. What does it matter if the world has gone crazy? His belly is full, and he is content. And a while later, he is awakened and on his feet with a start. For now, it isn't the noise that is so frightening; it's the quiet. And why not? The port of Hungnam is deserted, and the only sound now is the voice of our dog barking over the water, and the putting around of the last boatload of demolition men pulling away from the deserted pier. putting out to the convoy. You guys know where this is heading, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the afternoon of December 4th, Christmas Eve, 1950, at 2:30 p.m., the last man fighting under the flag of the United Nations left the deserted port of Hungnam, and the only usable materials left behind were blocks of wired explosive placed under the structure that would be of any value to the communist. Boom! The silence was broken by the roar of a trainload of new cars going up in blast. Another roar, and the storage warehouse full of flour sacks and food rations went up in smoke. Airplane fuel, machine parts, vehicles, clothing, everything going up into big gouts of flames. Finally, a master switch was thrown, and in a moment, where all had been still as death, now stood a huge bursting pillars of smoke, and amidst a terrible drawn-out roar, the waterfront of Hungnam soared into the sky and rained down on the water for a full minute. There was a thick smoke, dust, a fitful bursting of delayed bullet shells, and the quiet grew sharper. You could hear the crackling of innumerable fires, and here and there the crashing of timber, and some fire or blast chute support gave away. We're almost done. But in the flickering flames, the flittering figures of the advanced Chinese scouts, it was hard to believe life and movements once belonged to Hungnam. It was hard to believe that the broken little body of a dog laying in the rubble was once alive. The sun was setting. It was Christmas Eve, the birthday of the Prince of Peace, and yet on Earth, men were still killing their fellow men. A star shell rose in the east, flickered for a moment, and then went out. Put away the maps. It's of no use to us right now. The campaign in North Korea is over. He died.
Oh, damn, you gotta put this on an angel. Jesus. They use the commercial with the dogs.
We're talking about sad stories, you know.
I got extra blue pretty fast.
I know, right? Listen, we watched that commercial.
Like, really, you expect happy endings nowadays, but like, yeah, man, back then they were like, no, that dog's dying.
Damn politics and comics.
Yep.
Yeah.
Boy, I mean,
all right. So
again, this wasn't as much politics as it was, well, war propaganda at the time as well, but also partially educational, partially news, partially propaganda.
So like we did last week, I figured we'd finish it off and bring us up a little bit, lift our spirits with some of the amazing advertisements from the comic. We have the most amazing tool set ever offered. 6 handy tools and 1 compact unit, only $1.50.
Nice.
I'm in.
Of course, we have the He-Man. We're gonna pump you up commercial things like we always get. Those things date back as far as any of us can remember, I guess. Prizes. We have prizes for everyone. Just fill it out, clip it out, send it in, get your prize. Then we have some commercials for some other comic books.
Some goodies. That's a good EC ad in there.
Yeah. As well as stories of the Bible and science stories and other stuff that was also in there. And then they had, and I won't read all of these, but they actually had I guess these comic books were read by a lot of soldiers. So they actually had soldiers writing in, offering suggestions for stories. One of them, like, I would like to make a special request for a story. It's a story of the U.S. Army's 442nd Regiment Combat Team. I'll keep writing until you do. I'm determined. So I won't read all these, but they have their stories of people writing in. That's it.
A lot of my teachers and professors in high school and college.
That was sad. Now you made me think differently on Christmas Eve now.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I had a handful
Happy
of
stories for the rest of the month, all right?
That's actually 2 stories that I've done about the killing of animals. Remember I did the Thanksgiving one about the turkey that died.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Jedi hates animals. I can see AOA now.
Those commercials with Sal McLaughlin singing the song "In the Arms of an Angel." My wife always says it seems like they take their toy away, that they make them all sad, Give me that toy. The dog is all sad.
Then they take their picture.
Yeah. You're all sitting there.
No, I had a lot of teachers
Nice.
that were Korean War vets, and they used to tell stories. So
Here.
that brings
So,
it
hey,
home.
Bruce, here is
Yeah.
the 9.6 newsstand. Give me on the large screen real quick.
What's the number on the top?
With the number on top.
What does it start with?
serial
A 2
number.
or 1?
Two, what do you mean? The 42.
The serial number.
Oh, the
No,
serial
serial
number?
number.
It's a 2. 2098163017.
The problem with older books older slabs like that, a lot of defects they gave passes for,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
They don't.
if you crack it and resubmit it, it might come back lower.
Really? Because look, if you see the cover, like I'm gonna show you that if you can see, you see where the Marvel, where it says Marvel, there's like a little
I wouldn't crack that.
no.
I wouldn't crack that. Don't
No.
crack
No.
that. No.
Yeah,
I mean, you could try
Well,
cleaning it, but I don't think cleaning it would even probably get a lot of that off.
That
It's
probably
a
will come back
9.6,
and
Tom.
they'll take off a lot of points for that.
What about this? The 9.6. This is the direct. It looks
What's wrong with
sharp.
it? Oh, you
It's a
want to press
9.6.
it?
It's still a 9.6.
I see that left
Dom,
corner
if you
is
get
not that
one
sharp.
9.8, now you got to get all 9.8s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about that left top corner. It looks a little
Which
rounded.
one? The left?
Yeah, it looks a little rounded.
Yeah, it's like a little.
Yeah, don't crack it.
Okay. And plus, it's a little overshoot. Like the book, the spine is not straight. It's like a little.
I wouldn't crack those.
Okay.
They'll come back 9.2s, and then you'll be pissed. You lose hundreds of dollars worth on them.
9.8 and the black.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess I'll keep
So-
9.6 then.
It's not like nowadays when people take it off the rack and put
They're right in a bag and board.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people don't even handle the book. They just send them directly to BGC, like me. This guy.
Well, we appreciate everybody coming out tonight and hanging out for as long as you all have. Always remember to subscribe, like, notify, all those fun things for Rennavision and for Kingdom of Nerds. Always appreciate subs. Always
And word of
appreciate
mouth,
likes,
tell
always
everybody how
appreciate
great this show is. Tell your neighbors. Tell everybody. Scream it. Scream it.
You know, if you're too lazy to type my name into YouTube, there's the link.
Tell your neighbors, tell your loved ones, tell your wife, your girlfriend, your mistress, your baby mama, everybody.
And depending on your boyfriend too.
Your boyfriend, yeah, exactly. Your boyfriend, your baby daddy. Everybody tell somebody.
your mistress, your other
The guy you-
mistress,
The
your
guy you're having a
grandma.
bromance with at the office.
The corpse you have in your closet. Tell somebody.
Yeah.
So coming up this week, we got Saturday Night Special tomorrow night on Rennavision. Sunday, you got the Dark Side Crew talking Star Wars. Monday, Bruce has his show on his channel, which is always fun. What's on tap for this Monday, Bruce?
Monday Madness will kick off our holiday movie selections for the month.
Nice. So that will
And
be fun.
I think I'm also going to throw in, since it's the holidays, we're going to do favorite Christmas carols for the month every Monday. Our favorite Christmas carols, along with our favorite
Nice.
Christmas movies.
I will try to find the filthiest carols I can find. And of course on Wednesday,
With poison ivy, la 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 la. It's the season to.
I warn you guys now,
Dominic
Dominic the donkey's already fucking taken, all right? Hee-haw, hee-haw.
and on Wednesday we have the tax show on Rennavision.
And killed the
Don't forget Friday, Bruce, the other show on at 7. The
Next
CBSI Hot
Friday
10.
I won't have a show, so
Sorry,
Yeah, I
next
won't have a
Friday,
show
no
next Friday.
show.
no show.
The CBSI Hot 10 will be out on 9 o'clock on Fridays, and then you circle back to us. So we
Yay.
definitely appreciate your patronage. Any suggestions for the show, anything else you'd like to give us, please leave it in the comments after the show in the YouTube comments. Any artist spotlights you want to see, any ideas, things you guys would like to see.
Oh, crap.
We love taking viewer suggestions and putting together stuff that you guys want to see. So outside of that, anybody have any last words there?
Nope.
No.
Have a good
Happy
weekend.
holidays.
There we
Have a
go.
good weekend.
We're out, guys. Take care.